Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies, in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Enemies knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves, he explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
Take a picture.
I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming, it's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Thursday evening, February 27th, 2025. We're calling from the past to our friends in the Philippines. Welcome to Army 3875. Is it 3875? I'm trying to remember. 3275. 3875 is a number that sticks in my head. Army 3275. Good evening to you. We are calling the future from the past live here on the Wyatt Information Network. It's Sunrise Edition and Night Owls with the Colonel. Welcome back, folks. Lots has happened again today. I can't catch a break. I haven't had time to put production on at Real Chris Wyatt, the original channel. Just can't even get to it. So many things today. There's a video that I prepared for. I haven't even recorded yet that I've got to get to. I just did another one about the Karens in South Africa blaming the United States for the HIV crisis. The government of South Africa said it's just 17% of PEPFAR. It's not an issue. It's not a big deal. Yet now all the headlines are blaming America for taking jobs away from other people. It's terrible, man. It's so... Well, I sound like salty cracker there. It really is a serious issue, as I've cautioned people for a long time. Now going to blame us for the future 500,000 deaths. Yet we give Thabo Mbeki a free pass for the 650,000 people who died, at least, and another 500,000 plus who were born with HIV, courtesy of his small penis mind. Yeah, that would be Thabo Mbeki. Welcome back to the program, folks. Good to see you there again. Let me say hello to everybody in the chat. Trolls beware, not putting up your crap tonight. You come on here, you start trolling, start saying stupid stuff, you're going to be gone. You know why? Because tonight, in our audience, is Faith Naidu. A person deserves our thoughts and prayers tonight, and a person who reminds us that life is fleeting, life is precious. You're here one moment, you never know what's going to happen the next. You could be struck down with horrific news at any moment in your life. You never know what's going to happen, if your body will betray you, if nature will betray you, if criminals will betray you. Life is a precious thing that so many people take for granted. I'm glad and fortunate that I've never taken it for granted, and I've always never been in a rush to get a little bit older. And I'm getting a little bit older. I could see why I wasn't in a rush. But folks, good evening to everybody. Let me say hello, Army 3275. He's standby. Good to see you there. Welcome from the Philippines. You know, I don't speak Tagalog, so I really can't greet you in that. I know you're an American, but you probably speak some Tagalog, maybe from your spouse. Skalk Badenhorst, good evening to you. Ramaphosa's response after formed solidarity with the White House. Now they oppose such actions, despite them having done the exact same thing during apartheid. That is correct, ladies and gentlemen. They talk about going abroad, interfering in other people's politics. The ANC operated in Angola. They had no business there. The MPLA's fight wasn't their fight. Thank you, Arctic, for the super chat. Waking up with no frappuccino is cock. Thank you for your super chat. Yes, they operated there. They were in Lusaka. They were in Dar es Salaam. They were in Moscow, Berlin, Havana, Beijing, all in places plotting and planning terror actions and actually committing them in South Africa. So I don't really get what their umbrage is about. They actively lobbied Washington, Berlin, Amsterdam, and London. Well, not Berlin. It was actually Bonn at the time. Let me stand corrected. They lobbied in Bonn to get those governments to sanction South Africa, interfering in South Africa's domestic affairs. It's okay for them to do it when they felt they were being besieged by the apartheid government. I'm not saying they're right or wrong, but now that people are being besieged by a corrupt government and are asking for people to intervene to identify the crisis, suddenly it's treasonous and it's domestic terrorism. Really? I don't think that the EFF actually knows what domestic terrorism is. I'm going to talk about that here in a little bit too. I've got the letter from the EFF. It is a comedy show at the least. This 3-page memorandum. It's 2 pages plus a couple words. And I'm going to read it to you and just eviscerate it because it's just sad and pathetic. They're so desperate for attention. AJ Quinn, welcome to you. Michelle Heath, welcome. Bach. Carl Erasmus, Faith Naidu, hello Faith. Willem Janssen van Rensburg, Jan van Driel. How Russia is cozying up South Africa to create an Antarctic bricks block, one tiny toy icebreaker at a time. I haven't seen that. I haven't looked at Daily Mag in a couple of days. That's probably why. Line in the sand. Good morning from Swakopmund, Namibians. Not many of you line in the sand. I had some every now and then, like when I interviewed Marlies and I did the video about my folk Marlies. We had a bunch of Namibians stream. And then I was doing videos a few years ago on the original channel about the Caprivi Zipfel, you know, the Zambezi district, as they call it now, if I'm not mistaken, where Sududu Island was being poached by fishermen. The BDF responded, and there was a shootout, and the Namibians up there lost their mind and blamed the BDF and said they were corrupt and everything. And I said, wait for the investigation. And I was attacked. I was attacked. They called me a racist. The only people involved were black. I was reporting on it. Call me a racist because I defended Botswana. I said, wait till we get the results. You can't make unfounded claims. Oh, they're on the island. It's not your island. It was awarded through the International Court of Justice to Botswana. Sududu Island belongs to Botswana. Namibia and Botswana went to the ICJ to settle their dispute. The ICJ determined that Sududu Island is in Botswana's territory. Therefore, it is not part of Namibia. I don't care how many times you've gone there and fished. You've done it illegally, and you got caught. You got in a shootout. People died. That's not my fault. Call me a racist because I covered Fat Albert. Heidi Krieger says, good morning. What else we got there? Karen Jones, Johannes Pretorius, Japi Brandt, Tim Martens, Derek Strutz. Good morning to Les Van Ice, Nick Groves, Maureen Brockbank, Len Crow. How are my fellow Neanderthals today? Has anybody had any of those milk-bone dog treats? After all, apparently we're dogs, according to somebody. What's going to happen today? Well, Etienne, today, South Africa might find itself on the short end of a go with the way things are going. I don't think today, but it could be. U.S. Embassy ordered to apologize to Namibian media over threats. Gauntlet thrown down. PEPFAR derangement syndrome. Yeah, well, who's ordering the embassy to apologize? You know what we can tell them? Read between the lines. The embassy's not apologizing to anybody. Yeah, Namibians are just going to get stupid here, too, and they're going to regret their decision, too. The biggest benefactor for Namibia has been U.S., with Germany a close second, maybe slightly ahead of us. Veritas, how you doing there? And blame America, no personal responsibility. Why would they? Because the media is more than happy to cover them. Exact. Army, you're all over it, man. Army is all over it. Arctic with the super chat. Play 24. Okay. Magadang Umaga. Umaga almost sounds like Omega. Magadang Umaga. Well, I'll try to remember that. You just have to keep greeting with me. It'll eventually stick in my head. Good morning to you then. Okay, cool. There's a little bit Tagalog for me. Look at that. I'll bet you didn't know I knew what Tagalog was. Not you, Army. You knew I knew that. But the rest of the audience probably never even heard of Tagalog. And like, what's Chris talking about? Mashaba's lost the plot when Helen kicked him in the nuts for working for the event. That's part of my video. Is I've also got screen caps from him, Mashaba. He's lost the plot. Yep. Suzanne Stead, welcome to AJ Quinn. Patrick Vanilla, welcome Patrick. One of the folks been with us for a long time as well. Oh boy. Dowerly, Tim, the more Cox here talks about Trump, the quicker the program will. Exactly. Yeah, I think you're right. You know, those who want the refugee program, you know what, as far as you're concerned, you probably want Cyril Ramaphosa and Ace Magashule. Well, no, nobody cares about him anymore. Cyril Ramaphosa and Paul Mashatile, Grady Montasha, Nkubudzu Nchaveni, all of these fools to keep running their mouths about. There's only been two voices of reason in the entire past few weeks that are black South Africans who've actually spoken out with any authority whatsoever. And that would be Gate McKenzie, the sports, arts, and culture minister, and also the Zulu king, Mzulu Kwazweletini. These are the only two people who spoke out with any reason whatsoever. So the two of them, one of them, Gate McKenzie, was given a list of people going to the Cuban book fair, and the government was paying for this apparently, and all of them were black. He's like, whoa. Full stop. Why is everybody going black? This is a multiracial society. Don't we have any artists who are something else? And they attacked him. Oh, he's setting all his cronies. He doesn't even know the people that are going. He just put, colored and a couple white folks on there and, they lost their minds. So he stood up for multiracialism, Gate McKenzie, which is interesting because he often falls into the race hustling narrative, intentionally or otherwise. I think it's unintentionally. But he stood up with a voice of reason, one adult in the room. And the other adult in the room is King Mzulu Kwazweletini, who stood up and said, hey, how come the only people at this event are Zulu? I'm the king of the Zulu nation, which is more than just Zulus. There's Khoi and San and whites and Indians. Why aren't they part of this? Wow. Well, the guy scored major points in my book right there. Scored major points in my book. Francois Leroux, welcome to you. Fouché Hepston. Nick Kawabunga, I have a great idea for your next video. Something we urgently need addressing from No Boys Racers comments. Please contact me, Carlos. Carlos, how would I know how to contact you? Send me an email. I don't know how to contact you. Veritas, Vilma, Bach. Piki Dikan, the whole South are crying over job loss in the PEPFAR canceling. Never mind the 8 million that won't get their medicines. Yeah, exactly. They're worried about their jobs. Exactly right. I put that in my video originally, but I took it out because I thought it was a bit snarky. Ernst with 100 Rand super chat says, thank you for the great factual objective news. Excuse me, I got this throat. It was getting last night. It was fine all day, and suddenly it must like the ANC's got like some juju that they've sent through the airwaves. It's come over here and infects my throat at night. Hooah, there you go, Army. All right, it's good to have some Army guys in here. By the way, Army 3275, you get rewarded, man. We're talking about America tonight too. It isn't just all South Africa. The focus has been overwhelming on South Africa because of what's happened recently, and we got to cover the news. It is the big news, and with half my audience having been South African, and my audience coming because of the coverage of South Africa, among other things, we felt compelled to cover that. But we are covering America. Lots of stuff to talk about the U.S. tonight too. I'll get to that hopefully in a little bit. All right, so Len Crow says, good morning to my fellow Amerikaners. You mean your fellow Neanderthals? Join the cause, join the ride. Yep. Valerie Borsch Zietzman, welcome to you over on 332. Dang. Afrikaner Boer is back. Okay, Afrikaner Boer, good to see you again. Once again, for your edification, I'm not currently a counterintelligence agent. In fact, it's interesting that you brought that up because when you retire from the military, the Army, your badge and credentials as a law enforcement official, your counterintelligence agent, that's stored at the Intelligence Center in Fort Huachuca in a safe. You can request that. They keep that. You request it, and then they send it to you. And they decommission it. They put it in a plaque. You have to pay for it. I inquired about the program. It's $100 some, and it slipped my mind. It wasn't that important to me. But I really want to get my badge credentials so I can start showing off. See, I was a copper too. You dirty rat. No, yeah, I'd like to get that someday. I keep forgetting to do it. I wrote to them one time. I got a memo back, and he told me how much, but that was like before I retired. So I'll probably get that one day. But yeah, miss the long beard, says Faith. Well, I miss the clean-shaven look. But I might get shaved and go, wait a second, this boy looks chubby. I don't know who he is. That's not the svelte, sexy, devastating, handsome white man that I've always known and loved. Yeah, no, I'm a little afraid to cut it off. Who knows what I'll look like? Whew. Anyway, but yeah, we've shortened it up quite a bit. Okay, Rebel Refugees here. Newsflash. Okay, I already got there. And then Arctic. Let's keep jumping backwards. Equitable, equal opportunity industry to show strong investment prospects, the mortuary industry. Okay, all right. Child of the soil. I wanted to chill calm with, but you're too much. Maybe spend some more time. Oh, here we go. Oh, the little fools are showing up. Oh, child of the soil. You're so sad. So sad. Why are you so unhappy? Get a life, man. Get a life. I don't talk to fools. Only people have something to contribute to the discourse. And thank you. Oh, you're very welcome, Aaron. Thank you for the email. Cracker Barrel Kid, recently YouTube has decided to stop recommending it. It's late. I have to go and find. Yes, Cracker Barrel Kid, I know that. They're always doing me dirty. YouTube does me dirty. I mean, honestly, some of these videos should have had over 250,000 views. Look, I'm not going to complain about it because I can't fix it. I still get some decent views. But YouTube's cutting their own nose off to spite their face. I guess they can do without the revenue. I mean, that's on them. They're not making money from hiding my videos, so that's on them. But you've got to, the thing with YouTube is you got to go back periodically. So Erica, one of my moderators a few days ago, told me she was unsubscribed. Unsubscribed. It explains why I went from 1,000 new subscribers every day for a sustained period of time, and then I did a video that was arguably perceived as anti-ANC. That wasn't the intent. It's simply stating the facts. And as soon as I did an anti-ANC video, boom. I dropped to 200-300 subscribers per day, and the views dropped by 60,000 per video. Yep. YouTube being YouTube. And they'll say, well, you're not catching the algorithm right. I caught the algorithm right. Yep, I was the first to break the fact that AfriForum was here, and 70,000 views and stopped. No further. Yep. And then Trump Any PEPFAR, 69,000 views in a couple hours. Stop. No further. Now, the one that is doing something to this is the one I did, was it yesterday? Yeah, well, no, it's earlier today. So 12 hours ago. This morning, I released a video about South Africa with a house on fire. That one slowed down overnight, but now it's starting to pick up again. So let me see how many views in the last 60 minutes. 1,500 in the last 60 minutes at 44,000 views. So, but yeah, these things are not getting quite the coverage they should. But apparently the trolls are finding it, so somebody's finding it. I don't believe my forefathers. Well, I believe they were there. They knocked boots. The egg was inseminated and down through the years, and here's a consequence. Yeah, I believe in forefathers in that respect. If I think they have some mystical power over me and they determine my fate, nope. The only thing my forefathers provided was these stunning good looks, these blue eyes, and, this height and, disposition to burn a lot of calories. The rest is all nature and nurture, or lack thereof. Epstein list. Yeah, Epstein, it's an overdrive. It's got to go for now. Oh, sorry, AJ Quinn. Heinrich Schonefeld, welcome to you. Mike Weston. Hey, Mike, how's it going? James Duvall, Dardy, welcome to you. All right, Michelle Heath. Chris, what's your opinion on this guy that charge people to get their papers verified? Okay, so if someone is charging you for a refugee program, they're defrauding you. They're defrauding you. Maybe they're doing something for you, but there's no cost for a refugee program. There's no cost to verify papers. Who's doing this? Who's doing that? There's no cost to verify papers. There's no cost. It's a scam. It's a scam. If someone is charging you for that, that's a scam. End of discussion. You don't pay for refugee status. Ask the people in Darfur. Are the people in those camps in Darfur paying to get into the refugee program? No. Are they paying for papers to come to America? No. That's utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Besides, this program doesn't exist. How could somebody possibly be helping you by charging you for papers for a program that doesn't exist? Oh my goodness. I mean, this is actually one of the more advanced camps. This one is in Darfur. No, I'm sorry. This is the one in Kenya. This is the Dadaab camp in Kenya. So this is where these people live. Do you think these people here are paying to get refugee status, to get on a list to come to America or to go to Europe? I mean, look at that. That's where those people live for years on end in those horrific shacks. The world's largest refugee camp with over 600,000 residents, which is over 30 years old. Those people aren't paying anything. Imagine where everybody's taking a poo at. Think about that. Ew, gross. If someone's charging you money for that, I've warned you over and over again not to pay money. I mean, if it comes down to it and the U.S. charges a fee, well, we'll find out when they charge, but that's not how it works. I mean, anything could happen. Don't come back and say, you said it would be free. Well, it has been free, traditionally. And since there's no program, it is free because you can't apply. So, man, scam alert, scam alert. Philip Kutsia, welcome to you. Audrey Meyering says, Colonel warned us not to pay 1 cent. Yeah, people don't listen. Yeah, to get documents, you need to certify a passport. That's different. Yeah, that's a passport. That's not refugee. Yep. What does 3-2 Army want there? What did you say, Army? I missed something there. How did I miss some of these comments? It's very frustrating. Ulrich Fenter, I missed you. Welcome to CB1. Hey, guys, go on there. Chris Murray. I still don't see what Army said. How did I miss this comment? I guess he must ask something about me. Ask your question again if you're still there. Okay. Yeah. So we were also offered to pay to get on a list, but they don't know I watched the Chris Wyatt show. Yeah. Offered to get on a list. The list isn't anything. I'm going to tell you what. See, there are going to be people who are foolish to give their money to somebody who's scamming them. They're going to blame Trump in America. That's your fault for being stupid. I don't care if you're desperate. Being desperate and being stupid are two different things. Being desperate may fuel stupidity, but being stupid is stupid. Stupid is as stupid does. My mama told me life is like a box of chocolates. Stupid is as stupid does. So, tell people about this program and tell them to come here and get the truth. Get the truth. Is there something we can do to get head start to prepare for refugee program? Sure, James. Birth certificates, passports, driver's license, bank accounts ready. If you've got international accounts, place to put your money at, if you got it, that sort of thing. Prepare to have your place, if you were going to sell it or whatever you're going to do, just don't sell it, but get ready for it. There's lots of things you can do. I mean, it's just like preparing for any move. I mean, every time I moved 26 times in 36 years in the Army, including to Germany and back, to Germany and back, to Germany and back, to Italy and back, to Tunisia and back, to Liberia, to Botswana, to Germany, from Germany to Uganda, yada, yada, just like that. 26 times in 36 years. And every time, boxed up, Rubbermaid containers, start prepping months before I leave, put it all away. It's all ready. The packers come. They don't have to pack anything except, put things into boxes. The boxes are laying. They put them in there, lock it up, ready to go. Now, as a refugee, I don't know what you'll be allowed to take or not take, but I'm just saying there's lots of things you can do when you're prepping to move, even if you just moved across country. Thank you, Marius, for your membership. Good morning from PE, says Jacqueline Bota. Welcome to you. I'll just use my straight, honest way. Give me your money. Green card application is not free. Well, green card is once you're in America. Army 325, what are you asking for, man? I missed your comment. What are you asking for? What is that? For somebody tell me what he's asking for, because his comments aren't showing up. Suntel Bridges, welcome to you. Keoma Fenter, welcome to you. Holden Caulfield. Yeah, I spent time with Africa Command. That's correct, and I've written about it. Yep. Anyway, good morning, Nico. Joe Kruger, not a happy camper. I love that username. Yep. Stefan the Pale African, isn't the whole idea behind a refugee you don't have money? Correct. Paul Fanikak. Oh, it's talking about a video I made. Okay, gotcha. Oh, the Mogadishu thing. Blackhawk Down. Well, I just did That's on my other channel, though, isn't it? Yeah, that's on the other channel. Let me see. That's on the other channel. I think you're talking about the recap I did of, because it's been. I did a review of the Blackhawk. Hang on a second here. Let me get to my channel here. Real Chris Wyatt. Okay. America's Pulse. Let me get there. Search. Oh, there it is. America's. Where's it at? Come on, where's it at? Search Blackhawk. See if that shows up on a search. Surviving Blackhawk Down, Netflix documentary. I think that's what you're talking about. I did a live stream on that. Is this what we're talking about? It's on at Real Chris Wyatt. That's why you're not finding it here. So hang on. I'll just do a couple seconds of that. It's on my other channel. So here you go. Welcome back once again. This is Chris Report. And he assured me that it started without my permission. With my permission. There you go. So this is the video that I did on the Netflix documentary about Blackhawk Down. So I did this after watching it. I was really this is Surviving Blackhawk Down. Here we go. Live in central Pennsylvania. Just double checking the sound over here. Why can I not hear it? Yeah, just double checking. There we go. Welcome back. This is a reaction review of the Netflix documentary series Surviving Blackhawk Down. I am not a veteran of the conflict in Somalia, although I was nearly sent there in 1992. But I'm not a veteran of it. I am very familiar with it, and I will recount. Because we were all somewhere when this happened, unless you aren't that old. We all were somewhere when the Battle of Mogadishu went down. And I'm going to talk about this documentary, which is unlike Ridley Scott's 2002 or 2001 film Blackhawk Down, which was incredibly...
Quantum entanglement. That's why...
Advertising, making me a couple pennies. Making me a couple pennies. Skip it. It was, I think, very well done. They filmed it in Morocco, not in Somalia, but Blackhawk Down was pretty amazing. The acting, the storyline, how it hit home. And I'm going to talk about this film and my thoughts about it and how they did it. Now, this is a documentary, and it involves not just American soldiers, but also Somalis who participated in the Battle of Mogadishu and civilians who were caught in the carnage that took place. Some truly sad stories told here, some heartbreaking interviews, including Carmen Gordon, the widow of Gordon. Gary Gordon, Master Sergeant Gary Gordon. He and Shugart, they were the ones who fast roped down to save Mike Durant's life. And they even had an appearance by Mike Durant in this 3 episodes to the Netflix series. It's something that very easily binge watch, which is exactly what I did. Telling me I'm getting no data here. And then one of the helicopters came over, and the brigade, the unit that was going to deploy small arms fire, but all 3 of those aircraft were hit by RPGs, rocket propelled grenades, that took them down, and that's what caused them to crash. And so, like I said, it was rather prescient. I'm not crowing about it, but I still have the unclassified 7th Battalion, 227th Aviation Regiment, so they were going to go down there. So we wound up sending them. Anyway, so we had to brief all the crews, and I wound up not going. I was actually headed to the airport and told to come back. So my intel annex was prescient. It was a prognostication of what to expect. Although it wasn't helpful for the troops who were involved in the Battle of Mogadishu, to be quite honest, because those folks, I wasn't there for them. But when I briefed the pilots and the crews chiefs and the logisticians who were going to actually deploy, because we didn't know if we were going then, I talked to the pilots and we took questions about the threat. They didn't really care about the political situation. They didn't care about the geography of Somalia. They said they can read the maps when they get there. But they did care about what a threat was to their helicopter. And I told them about 3 different threats to your helicopters. Now, bear in mind that I'd never been trained for urban warfighting. That's not something we focused on. We focused on maneuver and destroying the Soviet Warsaw Pact forces and maneuver. And that's what we did in Iraq, was maneuver out in the desert. Like, it was actually like fighting at sea, except you had firm ground on you. So I'd never been trained for urban warfighting, but I was a historian and I'm aware of urban warfighting, particularly what happened in Stalingrad and things like that. So I knew the impact of city and the dangers it poses to troops. And in this case, with helicopters, the danger it poses. So I warned the pilots to be wary of 3 things: small arms fire, I mean, that should be a no-brainer. People shooting bullets at you from the ground could damage a very fragile piece of equipment like a helicopter, where you can take a rotor out or a blade or hit a hydraulic line and the thing will crash or kill the pilots. I also warned about SA-7 shoulder-fired missiles. We had an unknown number of SA-7s that had been sold to Siad Barre's government by his Soviet client state. There were thousands of them. Nobody knew where they were. The odds are many of them probably weren't functional, but we just didn't know, and so you had to be prepared for that. And finally, I warned about a third threat, which turned out to be the thing that took down 3 helicopters during Blackhawk Down, because we had 3 helicopters go down, Super 6-1, Super 6-4, and I think it was 6-2 was the other, I'm not sure. But 3 helicopters went down. 2 of them crashed in the city. 1 was damaged and managed to limp out of the city and then crash land outside the city where it was secured by troops. But the third thing I warned them about was RPG-7s, rocket-propelled grenades, which are anti-tank weapons. And one of the pilots said, because I was lieutenant, said, Lieutenant Wyatt, ask you a question? Sure. I said, what's the question? He said, RPGs, those are anti-tank weapons. Why should we worry about those? I said, guys, you're going into an urban area without skyscrapers. Just everything's probably 1 level, 2 level, 3 levels high max. Massive, dense population in a desert where everything looks the same below you. Not much distinction, but one thing that stands out is a helicopter hovering over a city street or over an intersection as you fly around the city. It makes you a nice, big, fat matzo ball target. And an RPG, it doesn't matter that it's designed to take out a tank or a vehicle. If you fire enough of them in the air, you get lucky eventually and just take down a helicopter. And it turns out that that's what happened on the day the Blackhawk Down happened. Lots of small arms fired. So that was the video I did in response to the Netflix documentary, which I think is a brilliant documentary, very well done. They made a genuine effort at being balanced. Really tragic story. A woman whose home was attacked by the little birds, the MD-500 Hughes helicopters from Special Forces, lost her husband and her son, and her daughter was blinded, and she lost a couple fingers, something like this. Truly horrific situation. Copy says, did you ask me a question? Did I ever fight in a conflict? Yes, I've served in combat on multiple tours. It's the Gulf War, and I don't really talk about the other ones, but yeah, I've served in combat. It's nothing special. Doesn't make anyone special, but it's quite horrific. Nobody wants to go to combat, least of all real soldiers. And the question for Army 3275, yes, those were 2 Delta Force snipers. Master Sergeant Gary Gordon and Sergeant First Class Randy Shugart. Randy Shugart was born and lived less than 10 kilometers from my house. There's a road named over there after him and another named after his family because they've been in here for ages. Randy Shugart died. He and Gordy went down knowing they were going to die, that there was no hope. But they, because of their sacrificing their lives, Durant is alive today. Yeah, the ultimate. Those are real heroes. They took out a lot of Somalis before they were taken down, mortally wounded. And the reward for that is they and others, their bodies were dragged through the streets like animals. Disgraceful behavior by Muslims who proclaim that they respect the dead. There was no respect whatsoever that day. A lot of people try to explain it, saying you have to understand hundreds of Somalis died, they were angry. Well, hundreds of Somalis died because they kept pointing out the soldiers and facilitated the attack and getting in the line of fire. That's why they're dead, not because of just random arbitrary shooting. It wasn't until crowds shot randomly at soldiers they fired back at crowds. It's just a horrific situation. Never should have happened. It's a consequence of the ineptitude of Bill Clinton, who still walks around a free man for his war crimes. Yep. Those 2 snipers weren't the only snipers. Those Hughes MD-500 little birds were full of snipers up there, and those guys took out a lot of people that day. Anybody that showed any indication of hostile action, at some point they just started taking them down. Yeah, it's just crazy. It's a heart-wrenching. To me, it was even more impactful than watching the movie Blackhawk Down. It was insane, absolutely insane. They used scenes from Blackhawk Down as part of the footage for it. It's something else. Yeah, it's just crazy stuff, folks. Yeah, Army, the other channel is my original channel that I started in 2006, 19 years ago. And it was censored and removed by YouTube over bogus claims that I had broken community standards. I never did that. They claimed that I denied COVID, never denied it. They claimed this something else, I never did it. They claimed something, I never did any stuff. It was a censorship regime in YouTube in 2021. And that channel went from 2 to 23,000 subscribers in 5 months. Because I couldn't post things on as an intel officer. I was a couple waterfalls when I was in Iceland. Just, because I'm like Inspector Gadget, I'm an early adopter of all tech, and so I adopted that early. Then I started using it when I retired from the Army in early 2020. and to promote my consultancy, and I put videos, and the channel took off. And so I started reporting on Africa and all around the world, and people liked it, and it grew. And then YouTube came after me, and they attacked my videos. It was absolute insanity. It drove me nuts. I thought I was going to go crazy. They took my channel away. I lost everything. I lost revenue. I was making money from that channel. I wasn't even trying to make money. And they just took it all away. And then I restarted another channel immediately, even though I appealed that channel. I appealed it, and they said, nope, you violated our community standards. I said, where? And they said, you just did. Didn't tell me how. Then they came back and they said, what was on this video? I said, that video doesn't exist. I removed that video a month ago when you gave me a second strike. How can you take me down? Well, it's on our server. Like, well, that's your problem. I can't even find it. I can't show it to the world. So how is it violation of standards? And then I appealed it 6 months later, and he said, that's been too late. You waited too long. I said, no, I didn't. It's on your server. That's the reason you took my channel away. You said the deleted file never got deleted. The account's still there. So 23 months later, after they gave Donald Trump his channel back, I applied one more time. That evil shrew, Susan Wojcicki, whatsoever her name is, she's dead from cancer now. But she left YouTube, no doubt because she had cancer. Maybe God was getting even with her. I don't know. But she left YouTube, and then they eased up on the censorship. They gave Trump back his channel. I said, well, if they give Trump back his channel on YouTube, let me see if I can get my channel back. So I wrote to him, and I appealed, and I said, hey, one last shot, 23 months. I said, I didn't violate your community standards. You illegitimately removed my channel, and you did irreparable harm to my business. Please restore my channel. I acted in good faith. You didn't. Next day, I was getting email messages in my regular email account because that was linked to my original YouTube channel. I hadn't gotten email there in 2 years. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm looking at it, wait a second. And I went back and my channel was there. It was back, just like that. Meantime, I built this channel. It took a long time to get traction. We got 1,000 subscribers back so I could start live streaming a little over a month after starting the new channel, this one here. And then I kept building it. And last year at this time, we were probably around 10,000 viewers. And then we managed to get to maybe 12,000. We managed to get to 15 later in the year. And by December, we were at end of the year, 20,000. And now we're at 50,000. So, yeah. So there you go, Army 3275. That's a little bit of the history there, which not everyone knows about. Okay, so there's a lot of veterans in this show. Yeah. But what they do is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. And now what they've done with this channel, it's one of the reasons why it didn't grow for so long is the channel was suppressed. I mean, I'm not whining about it. People know it's true. People subscribe, they get unsubscribed. I have moderators. I have one moderator, and 3 times in one day, YouTube unsubscribed him from my channel. Can you believe that? Yeah. I don't know why. So they do the same thing. So the other channel is truly censored. I put a video in here when we had 20,000 subscribers in January, and I would get 4,000 or 5,000 views on that video. The same video on the other channel where I posted it first, 180, 320 views. If you go over there, you'll see a lot of videos recently. They're very small views. I'm keeping the channel live, and I will continue to put stuff on there. But right now, I've just been so swamped with this channel and what's happening in South Africa and what's happening in the Trump administration that I really can't focus much over there. But please subscribe to that channel. I'd appreciate it. Everybody here, if you subscribe to that one. So this channel has over 50,000, 51,000. That channel has 21,000. That's 72,000 right there. Plus, I have 8,000 more on my rugby channel. That's 80,000, and a couple of other YouTube. I have about 85,000 followers, subscribers on YouTube alone. Now, some are duplicate. That's true, but I don't really care if you duplicate. I subscribe to a lot of channels. Martinus Marit says, can I come to America? Not yet, buddy, not unless you're flying over on your own dime on holiday or something like that. Yes, YouTube is owned by Google Alphabet. That's correct. They bought it years ago. Worked as a private security in Mogadishu for 11 years now. It's a different world now. Many are very good people, just career businessmen. Juan, yeah, I don't doubt you, man, but things didn't have to go the way it went then. Americans were hailed as heroes when they arrived to make sure the food supplies got through. But George Herbert Walker Bush sent 25,000 U.S. military personnel to Somalia in December of 1992. 3 December 1992, I think that was the date. And people want to claim, or is it, it was December, 3 December. Then people want to claim that Bush did that as a cynical move to get reelected. Well, the election occurred in November. He'd already lost. He sent them on a purely humanitarian mission to protect food supplies to get it through. They accomplished that mission. That was the mission I was supposed to go on. I was in Germany. We were alerted to go. I didn't go. Only a platoon. Instead, we thought a whole battalion was going to go, so I was going to go with that battalion as our intel officer. And only a platoon went to reinforce one of the units from 12th Aviation Brigade from 7th Corps, or 5th Corps, because 7th Corps was gone. Yeah, anyway. So it was a Corps aviation asset, the 12th Aviation Brigade. So they wound up in Kismayo way down south. I didn't go on that. But anyway, I got off track there. Yeah, YouTube is far left. So anyway, so yeah, that's what I was talking about, the censorship here. So what happens is that people we get censored. You know, it just happens, folks. It just happens. So you get censored. That's just the reality. So oh yeah, so that's where it's going. So we somehow broke through the algorithm last month, and it took off. I think the Sir Alfred Carbonara, the YouTube account, whoever's behind that, or not YouTube, the Twitter account, whoever's behind that, posted one of my videos about South Africa, a recent one that went after Trump became president, and that one went off and hit 180,000 views, and suddenly people flowed in here. YouTube's algorithm, even if they put suppress your channel, you can overcome a suppression if the YouTube's algorithm happens to catch it at the right time, the right title, the right topic, and people drive into a video real quickly. And it did. I was gaining 1,000 subscribers per day there for 2 weeks straight, and we went from 20, sorry, there's a little bug here, from 20 to 48,000. We gained 28,000 in just a couple weeks, and then it took a week to get, you little bastard. Took a week to get to air defense. Took a week to get to 50,000. So we were down to 200 or 300 subscribers per day, new ones, because they're taking subscribers away. But anyway, whatever. It is what it is. We grow as much as we can. We do as much as we can. It's just good to see more people here hearing things. My husband was a naughty kid due to parents left all the kids. He got caught for stealing. Would that be a problem? I think he was about 10 years old. I don't think that's going to be a problem. He probably didn't have a criminal record. Still have I carved. They are precious to me, says William. Okay. Kevin Nicklin, how's the parents, man? Just wanted to ask what diet Chris is on to give him the energy it does, producing content here faster than AI can. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm producing a lot of content. Like I said, it's over 90 videos since January 1st. It's crazy. Over 90 videos. There's some about Blackhawk Down. I joined the Army in 98, so it happened before my time in service. Yep. Christian Fundevalt, welcome to you. And Franco Dutoy was in Ovambolam as a signalier. Well, I was a signalier. That's right. Thank you, Jogi Mayberg, for, probably pronounced Mayberg, for becoming a subscriber. All right, so let me get to this content here, folks. I don't have my studio open because it crashed. Oh, boy. That's not what I want. Okay. Where's the studio at? Oh, I'm in the wrong place. I'm looking at the wrong thing. No wonder I can't find it. There you go. I want the little radial for the broadcasting. That's what I want. Cool beans. Okay. Let's see if that round pose video is actually taking off, or it was just a lark. Let me see. 1,600. If we do 600 per hour for 10 hours, that's cool. It'd be nice. It's more. Right, now we're back here. Okay, so this channel is freaky. It's the first time I joined as a member yesterday morning at the end of the stream. Okay, how's that freaky? I don't understand. Enjoyed Ronaldo's stream last night. Well, that's good. It's good. You can get biometrics and clearance overseas, but money, SAPs, clearance oddly still carries water overseas and helps. Don't know what you're talking about. Don't know what you're talking about. All right, so there are a few things. First off, job losses. You know, the ANC rubbished the whole idea that if PEPFAR was suspended, it would hurt South Africans. Oh, it won't hurt anybody. It won't hurt anybody. Oh, I'm your first. Okay, well, thank you for that, Bram. Colonel has ancient knowledge of semaphore. Yes. So no smoke signals. Job losses. Despite the ANC saying that the 17% that PEPFAR pays for HIV programs really isn't an issue. Funny how now everybody's crying about their jobs being lost. I don't mean callous for those people, but the ANC, I told them that was going to hurt. Yep. Thousands of people working for USAID-funded HIV/AIDS organizations have been rendered jobless. One social worker said she was selling her furniture to survive. My heart is broken. With unpaid salary since February and no immediate prospects, she was completing unemployment insurance fund forms when News 24 contacted her. I don't know where to start or what I need to sell to survive. I plan to sell my furniture so that I can at least get something to move forward, she said, adding that she was looking for a smaller home to rent. I even canceled my gym membership, which used to help me cope. So I've never had a gym membership. I don't understand the whole thing of gym memberships. It's a complete waste of money. Now in South Africa, maybe not because it's not safe to walk on the roads, but I mean, I walk and exercise on the road. I can pick up weights in my garage. I don't need a gym membership for that. I never understood the whole concept of gym memberships. Unless you're just, looking to get laid. That's why you're going to the gym. I've never understood whether you're straight or gay. I guess the place to go to get laid is a gym. But so that's a waste of money. And so this person's going to have to sell her furniture to survive. Where's your savings? You've been getting a job from USAID funded resource for some time. Why didn't you put money in the bank instead of buying furniture? I didn't buy furniture for my home until I had already been, how old was I? First bought furniture, 28 when I first bought furniture. And I bought it for $5 an item. People have to be responsible. You don't rush out and buy a house of furniture. It's like when I first came back in the Army as a lieutenant, all these lieutenants were broke. They're broke. And I'm like, why are you broke? Well, because I got a car. My wife is in the Army. She's got a car. Or no, my wife's not in the Army. I got a car. My wife's got a car. We got 2 cars. Okay, they got car payments for each of those. $500 a piece. There's $1,000 a month. Well, my pay when I came as second lieutenant was $1,200 a month. I'm not going to have a car or 2 cars with those payments. My car payment was $138 a month. And then I bought another car, which was $168. So $300 at $1,200 a month, I could afford that. So they have that. Then they had student loan debt because they both went to college, and that's where they met, and that's where they got married. So they're paying for 2 cars, they're paying for student loans. Then they decide to have a baby, so they have all those expenses for the baby. Then on top of that, they decide they need a house full of furniture, and then they get deployed overseas. They move to Germany or Korea. I mean, they wind up $50,000. They also have a wedding. They get married, and they spend $20,000 on a wedding. They're $80,000, $100,000 in debt, and they're the first day on the job. My first day on the job, debt-free. Well, not entirely debt-free. I had a car payment, $138 a month. But other than that, nothing. I had a student loan, but I hadn't started paying it back. So I started paying it back at $50 a month, and I saw that I was getting fleeced. Only $12 was going to the principal. $38 was going to the interest. And I'm like, nope. So I paid it off very quickly and got rid of that loan. But I was basically debt-free when I came back. And so I invested. And these people they live high off the hog. This lady, I don't know who she is, and I'm glad I don't know who she is, so I can't criticize her personally. But, you're going to have to sell your furniture because you lost your job. Why don't you have a savings? Why haven't you put money aside? And you're going to tell me, well, Chris, she didn't make enough. She made plenty of money to have a gym membership, to buy a house full of furniture, to buy a house, to rent a house too big that she can't afford. Personal responsibility, man. I don't have a lot of empathy for this. Oh, unemployment is really bad in South Africa, Army, and it's they like to pretend it's just black people, but it's not. It's increasingly worse for minorities in South Africa because of discrimination in the job market. Yeah, it's 45%. The government says it's 32%, but that's horse manure. Youth unemployment is 80% in South Africa. Yep, youth unemployment's around 80%. Geez, broke with 24 hours after a letter was delivered. Yep, within 24 hours, yep. Finding jobs is very hard. If you're white, make sure your last choice for big companies unless you know someone. Car dealerships love taking advantage of troops right outside military bases. Man, the horror stories. Well, that's true, Army, and I did a lot of financial planning for soldiers and tried to stay away from payday lenders and stay away from car places. Yep. I've always been... Look, I really could use a new vehicle. My SUV is 2004, so it's 21 years old. Basically, it's an antique. I think 20 or 25 years makes an antique. It runs great. It has about 100,000 miles on it. It's been all over the world. Had it in Africa, had it in South Africa, and all over Southern Africa. And I was stationed in Uganda with it, stationed in Ethiopia with it. I had it in Europe and had it here. It's fantastic. Runs great. Love it. It's a V8, 4.7 liter engine. Yeah, Toyota 4Runner. But I can't drive it across the country. I don't want, you can't guarantee it's going to go 3,000 miles. And I want a car so I can do a cross country trip. I haven't done one in at least 20 years. Yeah, so my sedan I bought 10 years ago, and it's already had a transmission replaced in it under warranty. And I don't trust it to go that far, so I need a car. So I looked at buying an SUV, a smaller one, and it drove nice, but it's only a 3-cylinder. Who the hell wants a 3-cylinder? I don't want a Trabant. Who wants a Trabi, man, or a Wartburg? I want a proper car. And that was $30-some thousand. I'm like, nope, $700 a month car payment for a little thing like this I can barely fit in? I don't think so. Not to mention, I get in an accident with a semi, man. I'll be smashed in that little tin car. No, I mean, I would really love to have like a huge, like Escalade style SUV, but I can't afford that. It'd take a lot of super chats to get that kind of money, man. Yeah, so South African employment situation is horrible. There are no decent jobs left, and the number of unemployed increasing, pick and pay, closing stores. Yep. Don't know if things changed, but back in the day, I couldn't get squat for my furniture and end up giving most of it to the needy. Yeah, I usually can't make money for furniture, but I bought my furniture from the Army. So we had a drawdown announced to reduce the size of forces in Europe. We had 287,000 active duty Army soldiers stationed in West Germany in 1990, and that's now reduced down to about 30,000. So in the early 1990s, the furniture that was in that the Army provided, because you weren't allowed to ship your own furniture across, because the cost of shipping furniture was prohibitively expensive. So the Army would buy furniture, from America, ship it to Germany, put it in warehouses, distribute it in the quarters for those who had quarters. And you left your furniture in storage in the States. It was much cheaper and much more effective. So in order to get rid of the furniture that's there, because you could have it in your weight allowance, they let you buy it. This bug is hanging around here. They let you buy it, and they sold it for $5 an item. Well, I bought it before I went to the Gulf War in 1990, because that's when they made the offer in 1990. And then they announced a drawdown. They said, hey, you can buy all your furniture, every item $5. So I bought everything, brand new couch, chairs, this table right here, this dining room table. This is not a desk, it's a dining room table that I have my studio on. This I paid $1 for, and I still have it 35 years later, or 32 years later, what it was. Yeah, 35 years later. So I bought a house full of furniture for $500 roughly, less than $400 some dollars. And then while I was in Saudi Arabia, they decided to sell everything for $1 a piece. So I could have had all for about $30. Anyway, so it was more than $5, but anyway, but it would have been $1 a piece. So yeah, and that's how I got my furniture, initial furniture. That's why I bought it, because it was a hell of a bargain. And my furniture wasn't used. Usually you get used furniture, but this was brand new. When they brought it in, it was taken out of the boxes and had the plastic taken off. It was all brand new. I'm like, why not buy it? So my furniture, some of which I still have, had never been used before. So many people don't earn enough to save. Graham, Kelly, you're not listening to what I said. Do you have a gym membership? Well, she did. She didn't need one. She could have saved that money. Veritas says, why is this risk? I should have known you 15 years ago. Well, I've always offered that kind of advice. I mean, people ask me for investment advice. I don't tell them where to put their money. I do tell them if they're taking as a risk or not. You know, should I do Bitcoin? Should I trade in pork futures? Dude, those things carry risk. My investment advice for people is you save money, you set it aside so you have emergency cash reserve. You're not going to earn much interest on it. Then you start putting money in investments that are relatively safe. And I can tell you in terms of investment scenario in America, what our investment climate is like. Mutual funds, certain mutual funds are very safe. You can put it in there. Nothing is guaranteed, but it's safe. And then you can start teaching yourself, learn about stocks. And if you want to learn about stocks, you can invest in that. A lot of people like to invest in property, but good luck with that. You have property I have to pay tax on. I own IBM stock. I've never paid 1 cent in tax on the ownership of that stock. Thank God. Now, the dividends that come off of it, I have to pay taxes on that every year. But my dividends are invested, so my gets bigger and bigger. And then I still have to pay taxes on it. But yeah, I don't give people, buy this stock, do that, do this. I never tell people that. I try to teach them financial habits. In fact, here's a book I can recommend if you're curious. The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel. Talks about other super chat. Thank you for the super chat. Army. Hey, that's a nice one there, man. Is that $20? I can't see it on the screen. Let me see. $20. Thank you you're welcome. Thank you for your service. I do appreciate it. But Psychology of Money, if you can get this, it's a good, interesting book. It talks about people's relationship with money. People have very bad relationships with money. You know, it's not just significant others and spouses that people have bad relationships, or their kids. People have really bad relationships with money, very irresponsible. And we all do at times. I mean, like, I'm paying for subscriptions right now that I simply do not need. I was just billed for Time Magazine. I don't get it because for Sports Illustrated. Sports Illustrated is a racist propaganda publication that only promotes black supremacy and not athletics, which is what it used to do, athletics. So I've been made to cancel that subscription. It cost me $43. That's $43 wasted. I could have put in the bank. And that's my fault for not paying attention. But I'm not in a situation where I'm desperate to pay attention. Whereas people who don't have any money in the bank or any savings should be paying attention to things like that. You don't need that. Go to the library. It's free. Read the magazines there. So yeah, I used to go to the library to read the Value Line Investment Survey, which helped me learn how to invest. And I learned, taught myself how to invest and do very well 30 years ago. And then I had a little bit of money. You little bastard. Had a little bit of money and didn't get him again. He just keeps coming around. I had a little bit of money and then actually signed up for it. And it was a big investment on my part because the Value Line Survey was $400 some a year. It was a lot of money to me. And I really couldn't afford it, but I did it, and it was worth it. I did it for a couple of years and learned a lot about investing. And then after that, I just went to the library again because I needed it at home so I can mark it up. And I can't mark up the ones from the library. I can't take them out. So, but yeah, there's lots of ways to overcome things that you don't need. Unemployment's going to get worse this year. Yeah, unemployment's going to get worse. All these people lost their jobs related to PEPFAR. It's tens of thousands of jobs. If I'm entitled, I also wouldn't want to work for minimum wage. I'm too good for it. I don't understand that. Minimum wage is not enough, and these guys live in shacks, so they're not 100% entitled. Yeah, only caterers win, Chronic. I agree with that. Colonel, why does it seem that all the houses are built out of timber in the USA and in the South we use bricks? Is there a reason why timber is preferred in the USA? I've covered that before. It's a good question. It's not all the houses. It's what you see now. Houses are being built at such a rapid rate because of the influx of illegal aliens and the generosity of letting millions of people come to this country that we need housing. And so lots of housing for the past 30 years has been built out of timber. You build the material that's at hand. South Africa doesn't use timber because you haven't got damn trees. Now, I don't want to hear about all the pine trees in Mpumalanga province and over near Eswatini. Yeah, that doesn't cover all your needs. There's certainly that timber wasn't available in the Highveld. It wasn't out there for people to build houses. It was rare. So you build the material that you have. The reason people build houses out of stone in Scotland and Ireland is because the frickin' islands are just rocks everywhere. Go to New England. You'll find that all the houses built in early Pennsylvania, all the houses were built out of stone because they're built in areas where there's lots of stone. It's durable. The wood thing is something that came about later, the timber. I've heard someone make a crack. They call the house planks because the house is made out of planks. Well, it's the material that's available. We have plenty of houses that are built out of stone, out of brick, out of cinder blocks, out of lots of things. So it just appears that way. That's not really the case. But what I can tell you is all the crap that's going up now, it's just in Maryland. I saw a whole new development filled up a farm field that's been there for my entire life. And it's got hundreds of houses, ticky-tack, looking the same style, hideous-looking things, and they're all made out of the same thing you're talking about. But that's because they're building so many of them. It would take so much stone to build that and so much brick. It's expensive. It's expensive. Timber is a lot cheaper. And it's all about doing it, most cost-effective. So, yeah, if I go over to Philadelphia, I see tons of houses made out of bricks. And there's houses here in my little town around here, tons are made out of bricks because they're built in the 50s when people were still using brick primarily as a means of construction. Yeah, but you can build these houses quickly. That's why they do it. Only membership you have is my channel. Literally made a YouTube account just to show. Well, I thank you so much for that, Volmarans. I appreciate that. And thank you, Army3275, for that super chat. Thank you for your service and for your sacrifice. No, timber is not used because of natural disaster. What kind of nonsense is that? Chronic, you're talking out your ass, man. That's not true. Natural disasters. What Merc did you go look at, Colonel? I didn't look. I saw it online. It was $16,000. It's too good to be true. It was only a few years old. I've driven Mercedes-Benz. I've never owned one. I mean, they're okay. I prefer BMW. It's the ultimate driving machine. I have not seen the podcast of Lotus Eaters, a new one. They did one a few weeks ago about South Africa. Have they done one recently? That means you have some paper stock with a fancy border. I don't know what you mean. That's a joke, I think. Jean Velgamont, welcome to you. We were still thinking in Czar when we first moved. This meant that we instantly became tight asses as there was no way I was paying $200 for a beer at a pub. And there's Sedgefield. Okay. We do have a lot of mud. Well, then you can make mud huts. There's Inked with a super chat. I'm going to read this EFF thing here shortly. No jobs, no economic growth. I live in a shack, but I'll keep voting ANC. There you go. There's a smart move. Sarcasm there from the poster and from me. Stefan, the pale African, I'd rather be in a timber house than a brick house during an earthquake. Yeah, I get your point there. No jobs, no economic growth. Okay, I already read that. Oh. My house in the U.S. is bricks. The houses in the Philippines are mostly cinder blocks and cement due to the lack of any timber. Exactly. There you go. Thank you, Army 3275. It's you build with the material that's on hand. I mean, you go to the Isle of Arran in Ireland, they're all made out of slate, stone, because that's what's there. Rental craze makes me sick personally since property prices skyrocketed. Yeah, they have. Building materials also advance with the times as well. That's true, but 2x4s isn't an advancement over stone. But I do like log cabins. That was a feature of American houses for a long time. Timber house. Yeah, timber house can be really nice. Just waiting for bated breath for sanctions. Yeah, well, I think a lot of us are. Yes, Holden Caulfield, I have a stock certificate from the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad, a cancel stock certificate. I bought it because I'm a genealogist and my great-grandfather worked for the Baltimore and Ohio Railroad for 35 years from Cumberland, Maryland, and he worked for them forever. It's historic. It's the the B&O Railroad Museum, which is the coolest railroad museum. It's in Baltimore. It's really nice. Not too far from Camden Yards, just down the block. It's a private museum. Awesome museum. Better than Steamtown, which is paid for by Arlen Specter taking tax dollars to build it in Scranton, Pennsylvania, which is a joke. It's nothing special. I would go to the B&O Railroad Museum if I were you. And it's a private organization, so you can support it that way by going in there and make a donation or just paying your entrance fee, whichever or both. But yeah, that place is pretty amazing. And you can see the trains down there. It's something else. Yep. Alma Netia Fundameva, there's nothing wrong with your phone. It's YouTube. I'm Big Shadow Man. You have probably been unsubscribed for notifications. What I recommend you do is you refresh the page and you look to see if you're subscribed. Then click on that little radio over there where it says notifications. So let me just find a channel here on YouTube and show you what I'm talking about. It's on this is on a PC, so it's there's Solidarity. I don't want that. There's the podcast, South Africa's Time Bomb. Oh, they got 40,000 views 8 hours ago. Yeah, so that's a new one. All right, well, I'll take a look at that. Yeah, they've got a big audience. I envy their audience. Let me find something. Shoot, these are all channels I'm subscribed to. They're not showing me. Okay, I'm not subscribed to this channel, so let me pick that one up.
When you travel for business.
Okay, so WHAS 11, 287,000, some news channel. Okay, so let me just show you this. Okay, so breaking news here. Okay. Okay, so you click over here on subscribe, okay? Left-hand side, subscribe. I've just subscribed. Then you have to click on this. It says personalized, none, or unsubscribe. You click on all, and it becomes black. You see that? Then you need to refresh that screen when you go to channel occasionally. Make sure you're still subscribed, okay? So if I refresh and come back to it, it should say I'm subscribed. Subscribed, and the bell is black. See that? But a lot of people get unsubscribed because YouTube is evil. Now, I'm going to unsubscribe from here, okay? Unsubscribe. So now I'm not subscribed any longer. So a lot of people will find that they're not subscribed and don't get notifications. As far as getting notifications, you have to have several things take place on a mobile. Number one, you have to have, hang on a second here. Are we up to 100% yet? Yeah, 100%. Oh, good morning. It's the next day. We're now in the future. Your phone on your operating system has to have notifications turned on, number one, which is a function for the phone in Android and also in Apple. So you have to have notifications turned on for the phone in general. Then you have to have permissions for the YouTube app turned on, and you have to have notifications turned on. You have to have all notifications, and then you have to be subscribed, and you have to pick all notifications there. If you don't do all of those things, you won't get notifications from YouTube. Sometimes your phone reboots the operating system and it changes your settings. Sometimes your PC, you update your software in your PC, it does that. And sometimes it's simply YouTube taking subscribers away. It's just evil what they do. So my apologies for that. My recommendation to you, Alma, is to join the Telegram or one of the WhatsApp groups where we post every video. And every video gets posted in those groups, and you will know every time there's a video. So that's my suggestion. It's the best I can do. It's not unique to my channel. It happens to almost every content creator, and it's purely evil. It's stupid why YouTube does that. So, oh, we have cedar. We have all kinds. We have black walnut, which is great. I feel like that's the true problem with our country. No matter what race you are, too busy blaming everyone. Well, I agree. Lots of people blaming other people. I saw that interview. I was shocked how he responded. He did not care who he threw under the bus. I was really disappointed. What interview are you talking about, Kathleen? What are we talking about there? Who are we talking about? Who threw who under the bus? Who threw under the bus, Kathleen? You're talking about something else. Are you talking Inked? What did Inked say? Where is Inked? Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's your super chat. Sorry, Inked. You see Neil Diamond's last interview? Absolutely despicable. Now he's trying to downplay everything that is happening. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what to say. Let me see if I can go to Biz News. Oh, Newsroom. Oh, no. Newsroom Africa. No, I haven't seen it. I don't know. Look, no one's criticized me for having on, but as I told the guys from Solidarity and AfriForum when I met them to interview them, I said I had spoken to Neil Diamond, and I said a lot of people were very angry on my channel with him. I said, that's their prerogative. But I said I interviewed him to find information out, because when the story started breaking the media, the South African media actually reported on this. They said 5,000 people had contacted the South African Chamber of Commerce. The next day, 10,000. Then they said 17,000, and it was blowing up. And then no more reports coming out of the South African Chamber of Commerce. So I wrote to him and said, can I get an interview with you? And he said, sure. So I treat him fairly. And one thing I asked was, is there a reason why you're no longer reporting this information? Are your servers shut down? He goes, we've been asked not to report it. Boom, folks, that's a scoop. That was a scoop. Wasn't expecting to get that answer. That was a scoop. No one else has reported on it, to my knowledge, unless they're copying me. I got that information from them. They told me on my interview here that they were asked not to share that information. That's huge news. We know that. The government told them not to do it. Cover it up. And so that was, if for no other reason, that's why the interview was so important on here. I don't know what he said on Newsroom Africa. Good morning, Rat King. ANC is really good at running the power grid in South Africa. No, they're terrible. It's terrible. Yeah, the Philippines is bad with power too. But South Africa wasn't always that way. Alma says, thank you. So much going to do. It's right now. Thanks. Thought it's my phone. No, it could be. But it's probably YouTube. Yeah, well, the government doesn't want him to release the numbers. But I mean, the government hasn't asked me to stop telling people how many people. I mean, we don't have a lot of people that say, boy, the audience is really small tonight compared to normally. Oh, no, it's 251. This thing is out of date. It's telling me 138. Definitely check it out. Okay, Inked. Well, it's either I research the news and make content, or I watch other people content. I have to make a decision. I only have so much time. Yeah, the ANC used the power grid as a enrichment tool. That's what they use it as. That's a real problem there. Hey, Charles Van Alton, the voice of reason, has joined us. All right, so let's get back to that news stuff. So that's how you do it. Before and after the podcast of the Lotus Eaters. Yeah, those guys are interesting, but some of the stuff they have just isn't right. Let's see what
I want to be talking about South Africa because obviously it's been in the news a lot, and America has taken an unprecedented position after Donald Trump has basically said that they're going to stop funding and start.
All right, let's see what they're talking about. I want to see if they got some pictures here that show the difference because they're just chatting away. Okay, hang on a second. All right, I got to do this.
This guy, the real genocide happening in South Africa is towards black people. Oh, really? Who's doing that then?
Oh no, they're making all our food. Oh, I'm literally dying.
Yeah, I don't see anything new here. They're just showing Twitter stuff. I mean, that's not particularly informative. Anyway, look, I like the podcast Lotus Eaters, but I don't recognize any of these guys. I've never seen them before. They're not the guys. Did they fire the guys that were there before that founded that stuff? They were pretty good. I haven't been watching for a while. All right, so complaining about jobs. Now, the big SAA lie, how the ANC picked the worst candidate because they didn't want a white guy. Yep, appointment of Lamola. Transport Minister Barbara Creasy has pointed to the citizenship of other candidates as one of the main reasons they chose to appoint John Lamola, whose score was surpassed by two other candidates' interviews in the position of CEO. This was contradicted by the fact that foreign nationals who all brought considerably more experience to the table were never excluded from the interviewing or headhunting process. That's correct. She lied. They interviewed them just as a mask. Okay, Alma says, done and dusted. I'm on your WhatsApp channel as well. Okay, you're welcome, Alma, and please tell other people. Okay, so instead it appears a cover-up is underway to hide the reality of ANC interference in the process that resulted in the most experienced candidates being excluded from consideration for one of the toughest jobs in global aviation. And this is why SA is broken. It's why ESCOM is broken. Although I heard Rob Hersoff say that they've got great executives and great engineers at ESCOM. I'm not buying that. Maybe Rob's got better information than I do, but I'm looking at results. I'm not seeing improvement anywhere in their delivery. The reason why they've avoided load shedding is not because they've improved performance, because 6 gigawatts of generation has gone off grid. 6 gigawatts of electricity that was formerly drawn from the power grid is now provided by people themselves, not by ESCOM. That's the main reason. And by the way, 3 gigabytes of that was facilitated by the U.S. government through Power Africa. Well, Ben Loader will be leaving the Stormers. I think he's okay, but I never thought he was a great addition to the Stormers, so I'm not going to miss him. But after months of speculation, Stormers wing Ben Loader has finally confirmed that he will join Gloucester for the next season. He's from Reading in the UK. He joined the London Irish Academy at 15 years old and made his professional debut against Edinburgh in the Challenge Cup in 2017. He can play wing or fullback. He made 75 appearances 6 years for the Irish first team before he left. And he signed with the Stormers, where he's made 21 appearances to date. So we'll be losing Ben Loader. We lost Stephen Kitsoff. Now we'll be losing Ben Loader. We'll see who else they lose. 5 former defense secretaries assail Donald Trump's decision to fire the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff. And I remind these people who stick their nose in things, only one of them deserves my respect, and I'll tell you who that is in a minute. But I remind them that this is not unprecedented. This is something that was started by Barack Hussein Obama, who fired one of the guys here, who's actually complaining about, which is comical. Anyway, most of them are just cads and useless turds. But yeah, 5 of them are complaining. 5 former U.S. defense secretaries on Thursday condemned President Donald Trump's reckless firing of the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff and other senior officials and called on Congress to halt any confirmation for the successors. So their solution is to gum up the works and prevent people from filling those positions. So that's how they're contributing to the debate. In a scathing letter, they also accused Trump of seeking to make the apolitical military an instrument of partisan politics and using firings which extend to the top Army, Navy, and Air Force lawyers to remove legal constraints on presidential power. That's bullshit. those attorneys they don't have legal authority over the president. They have legal authority over the military. That's not lifting a constraint against the president. That's removing dead weight in the military so that someone can get promoted and move up to that spot. And, they talk about being apolitical, yet these retired former secretaries of defense politically ingratiate themselves and stick themselves into the middle of the process of selecting leaders for the military. Who's the one playing politics now? President Trump or these former defense secretaries? Yes. The letter was written by 4 former defense secretaries who served under Demon Rat administrations, and then James Mattis, a retired Marine who served as Trump's first Pentagon chief for 2 years before he was sacked. President Trump's actions undermine all our volunteer force and weaken our national security, they wrote. No, they don't. No, they don't. Beyond Mattis, the letter signatories William Perry, Clinton deadbeat, Leon Panetta, Obama deadbeat, Chuck Hagel, Obama deadbeat, and Lloyd Austin, a Biden deadbeat. All losers, served under Democratic presidential administrations Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, and Joe Biden. Trump announced the firings late Friday, but his administration has yet to clarify in any detail what caused the unprecedented shakeup. It doesn't matter. See, these idiots think that, because someone's appointed position, they stay there forever. Well, if that were the case, then they never would have fired McChrystal. They never would have fired, what's his name there? CIA, Petraeus. They would have fired him. Mattis never would have been fired. I mean, this is ridiculous. They serve at the president's pleasure. It's not a political act to remove them. That's his prerogative. His prerogative. Remember that song? It's my prerogative. Remember that? Anyway, it's his prerogative. Trump's dismissals raised troubling questions about the administration's desire to politicize the military. Why? How is it politicizing? We saw that the previous chief of staff undermined the presidency. General Mark Milley undermined the president. He committed treason. Hello. Yes, I'd like to talk to the chief of the People's Liberation Army. Listen, don't be concerned. I'm in charge here. The president really doesn't control this country, and we're going to make sure that he doesn't have access to anything that would harm relations between your communist state and our bureaucratic state. Yeah. Oh, yeah. My name. Yeah. Well, you've got my name. It's right there on the phone call. Remember that guy? Former Army Chief of Staff and Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff undermined the United States' national security. National security. The guy that walked around in his fatigues in D.C. and then apologized for it. Apolitical leadership? Bullshit. Generals are not apolitical. And these people are liars that they believe that. They're stupid sycophants. Those of us like Army 3275, are you still here? We know better. Generals are not apolitical. They became generals because they're political creatures. Doesn't mean they're evil, doesn't mean they're bad, doesn't mean they're ineffective. But I can give you 10 other colonels that could have been just as good or better brigadier generals as one serving right now. They pick their staff. It's his choice who serves him. He doesn't have to live with the deadbeats he inherited or mistakes he makes. He fires them. It does. It sounds like the same intel chiefs who signed the disinformation paper. Yep. White House did not respond for requests. Well, they shouldn't respond. It's not going to respond to this stupidity. It's nonsense. Pete Hegseth told Fox News on Sunday that Brown was honorable but not the right man for the moment. Well, he's a DEI guy. He loves DEI. He loves to denigrate white members of the military, which make up the vast majority of the military. Yep. Trump picked Dan Kane, a retired 3-star general, to replace Brown. A retired F-16 pilot will be promoted to 4-star general and have to undergo a potentially grueling Senate confirmation process to get a 4-year term as uniform heads of the nation's military. Why should it be grueling? And by the way, did you see the part? I love where the journalist hang on a second. I just realized, is the action button not on there? I thought I turned that back on. Well, the alert box is on. It just hasn't shown up yet. Did you see that press conference where the guy says, Mr. Hegseth, Mr. Secretary of Defense, can you tell us why you picked an unqualified person to be the chief of the chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff? And Hegseth says, you know what? I'm not going to answer your unqualified question. Next. Spank. Anyway, flourishing blanket. Your super chat's not coming up, so I'm going to ring for it now. It'll probably come up shortly. Every president picks their own staff. Is Milley not guilty of treason? I think he is guilty of treason. Who the hell is he to be calling the Chinese People Liberation Army? Did someone give him that order to do that? That's highly inappropriate. It's wrong. If the guy's an embarrassment, what a disgrace. But he'll get some, job at Yale as a lecturer, talking about civil-military relations. By the way, we devote a lot of energy at the War College when I was there about civil-military relations. Cheaper to leave war machines in Afghanistan. Okay, Tim, I'm going to rubbish that real quick. Okay, I don't know what he said, but let's be very clear about this. I've been this way since the beginning when Republicans lost their mind and conservatives lost their mind. It wasn't our equipment. It wasn't our equipment. We left nothing behind. You're going to be, wow, I know they lost Blackhawks. We left nothing behind. For 20 years, Congress allocated money in the security sector for security sector reform in Afghanistan through security assistance to give to the Afghans and determined they must get Blackhawks, and they must get multiple launch rocket systems, they must get advanced rifles, they must get night vision. Gave them all this shit. We gave it to them. Grant money for 20 years. The whole time I was like, why aren't we giving them AK-47s and, DAF trucks from the Netherlands, or best case Mercedes trucks? Why are we giving them Bradleys? Why are we giving them Blackhawks? They can't sustain this. This is a medieval country. It needs medieval military, not 21st century hardware. So that equipment was all the property of the government of Afghanistan. We didn't abandon anything. That's a myth. And it irritates me to no end that the media lied and the conservatives lied because they're too stupid to know how it works. But I ran security cooperation, security assistance programs all over Africa. I know how it works. I know what the law says. I know what the 1960s Foreign Armaments Act says. Yep. Led successful nation ISIS 4 weeks. Exactly, Charles. Yep. Debbie Fox is super chat. I know he was pardoned, but does that protect him from being recalled and stripped rank? It does not. It does not. I don't think. I could be wrong. Uniform Code of Military Justice, I don't think, unless he specifically states he's exempt. Maybe it does. I could be wrong. But there are other actions they can go after him for. Yep. And if he wasn't guilty, why did he have to be pardoned? And why are people freaking out about the preemptive pardons that Biden issued to all these people? Sounds a lot like USAID. It does. It does. All right, so Colonel, does that mean there is a job opening for you in the military? Well, I can be called back to active duty at any time. That's the thing. I'm on a retired list. I'm a colonel still. I mean, that's why I can't run around and do stupid stuff, because I could get called back. Look, we've had people who break the law and they do such egregious things that they bring back in active duty. I mean, they've caught people who retired military enlisted, and some officers accused of murder or pedos, or child pornography. They order them back to active duty to prosecute them, to put them in jail. It happens sometimes, rarely. Yep. Dave Ranke, welcome to you. AJ Quinn is back. I know you left for a bit. Thanks for that. I did not know about the company. Yeah, no, Jean, that's the thing, and people run with this story because we spend all this money. Well, Congress, as a matter of law, approved the National Defense Authorization Act, and in that includes budget for security assistance, security cooperation. And we put grant money in there. So South Africa gets grant money under that for the International Military Education Training Program, IMET, which pays for the flights and the stipend and for the cost of attending U.S. military schools, usually in the States, sometimes elsewhere like Germany or Korea. But we send South Africans to the Army War College, and we pay for all that. You pay nothing. You pay nothing. We do the same thing for Ghana, for Liberia, for Nigeria, for DRC, for countries all over Africa. And we pay for that with grant money. You pick who goes, and we pay for it. We also provide military equipment. We gave Uganda helicopters. We paid for those. We gave Uganda fixed-wing aircraft. We paid for those. We gave Mauritania maintenance vehicles and armor personnel vehicles. Paid for all that. Yep. We also sell things, but most of the countries I'm talking about can't afford to buy it. The people that buy the stuff are Israel. They also get aid. Taiwan buys stuff. They don't get aid. Korea buys stuff, So Adam Schiff Pelosi should be prosecuted. I agree 100%. Was at my kid's concert last night. Buck from Black was there when he started singing De La Rey. The Colored walked home. Are you serious? Well, sounds like they're racist, Erica Strauss. What's their problem with De La Rey? It has nothing to do with the coloreds. There's almost no coloreds involved in the time that De La Rey is about. It shows you how stupid people are. De La Rey's song is about the Anglo-Boer War and what the British did to the Afrikaners and to Africans who were there. But there are virtually no coloreds in that area. And Ik ben Afrikaner. Well, an Afrikaner, if people watch this video, I mean, it's full of colored people. And that's what I try to tell you guys all the time. So, let me see. Buck van Black, Afrikaner Heart. Afrikaner Heart, okay? Here we go. That's the one. Where the hell is that? There's Tijd om te trek. Yeah, ik ben een Afrikaner. Where's the... Is it that one? Maybe it's not that one. No, that's 4 weeks ago. That's not the one. I haven't seen that one then. I didn't know he had no song on. He's got the Afrikaner or something. Yeah, let me just go to his channel, Buck from Black, okay? He's got that video in which half the people are colored in it, and he sings about Afrikaans. What the hell song is that? Okay, here's his channel. I finally found it. Okay. Music videos. Let's get his music videos. Come on. Delray. Tijd om te trek. Sing Afrikaner Sing. That's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Sing Afrikaner Sing. That's full of color, folks. These people are idiots. 6.8 million mensen in Zuid-Afrika praat Afrikaans. Soos muziek het een taal die vermoe om mensen bij elkaar te brengen. Ja.
Het zal veranderen. Die veel zal in.
This isn't the one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Hang on. Here you go. Sing Afrikaner Sing. So yeah, there you go.
It hits the screen.
That's not it. Hang on.
Stories bold and keen.
Whoops, sorry, pushed the wrong button there, folks. That happens sometimes. Wasn't looking.
Sing, Afrikaners sing. Laat je stem gehoor.
Wait a second. Is that some colored folks there? Sing Afrikaner Sing? Aren't those colored folks? Aren't they? They're Afrikaans. No, it's just the white people. No, baby. No, look, it's a fucking goat. No, baby, it's just a goat. No, it's a fucking goat. Look, it's Afrikaners. No, it's Afrikaners and some colored people. No, it's fucking Afrikaners. Seriously.
Laat die nooit verdwijnen.
Ah, what a great song. Sang, Afrikaner sang, yeah. And the coloreds walked out when this guy promotes colored folks. Wow. What a bunch of pathetic losers that did that. Ranger Jakes, welcome to you. Royden from Bloemfontein. This sang to Colonel. Okay. I enjoy his music too. I tried to get an interview with him, but he's with a studio and they just blow you off. Yeah, the whole Rainbow Nation's in the video, Brom. Exactly. See, this is what pisses me off. Delray has nothing to do with black South Africans, except the ones who are oppressed. It has to do with the cockies. If anything, English South Africans should be pissed off about Delray. Yeah, it's a beautiful language. I don't know if it's the most beautiful. But I love that song, Sang Afrikaner Sing. And look at this, man. Coloreds. There's a couple black folks in the crowd. Yeah, and they're all singing Afrikaans. But apparently the color folks got up and left. Well, screw them. Exactly. Those people are racist. They're racist. All they see things is through a lens of color. They're racist. No time for them. Ravani says, if you visit South Africa, make sure you consult a white guy which places you should avoid. There have been murders and stuff because tourists go to the wrong place. Who are you talking to? Me? I've been to South Africa 500 times. And you consult a white guy. I talk to black folks, colored folks, Indians. So a way to contact Rubio's office to get a rough estimate on refugee program release. Go to the State Department website and send an email, and you're not going to get an answer. You can also go to the U.S. Embassy website and put an email in, be it on the mailing list. You're just going to get a response, and that's going to be it. Nothing's going to come after that. Epstein files. We'll see. I think it's going to be a nothing burger. Sing Afrikaner Sing. Yep. General Black, welcome to you. Herman Volka, busy working, so just listening. Okay, cool beans. Well, sometimes I wear my sunglasses. Sometimes I wear my sunglasses. Yep. Corey Hart. Kruger National Park, one of those days, I won't be anymore. Won't be there anymore. You are so funny. Thanks for the humor to start that. You're welcome, Sonia. You're welcome. This is some of the most beautiful places in the world, but remember, it's also a gamble. Is you're never safe. Absolutely no guarantees. Well, yeah, that's true. Bulk from Blair sings many songs which praise Afrikaner nationality. That's what scares the ANC. They go off their rocket whenever it mentions the revolution, uprising, or white nationality. Yep. News also isn't mentioning the extradition of cartel. I've got that. I've got that story. CBS covered it. Yep. Barbecue Briar, awesome. They promised us Epstein list last year. I doubt they released it. They did list. They did list. They released some of the stuff, and they got another release coming out. But I'm not too excited about it. Commies are good at driving wedges between minorities. You are correct, Tim Martens. That's what they are good at. Afrikaner sang.
Kan ons 'n stilte breek? Afrikaner sang.
And that drives them nuts. That drives them batshit crazy. High-level talks between the U.S. and European diplomats have fallen apart because Marco Rubio said, foot sec. He told him to piss off. Oh, gosh. Yes. A plan made between European Union Foreign Policy Chief Kaja Kallas and Secretary of State Marco Rubio was abruptly canceled on Wednesday due to scheduling issues. The Europeans were caught off guard. You're going to get the South African treatment. You keep it up. Sandile Msibi said, Cape Town, Mpumalanga, stay away from Durban and Johannesburg unless you don't mind mob. Yeah, well, there you go. Arcus, I used to know the song Fekatin Chop. His nickname was Soft Shoes. Oh, okay. It's crazy that we have access to a U.S. colonel. What a privilege. Hey, Snivels, how's it going, man? You saw that UK had free speech. There's no free speech in the UK. Give me a break. There's no free speech in Germany. They're knocking on doors. Did you put this meme online? Yeah. Oh, let's go. Friggin' Nazis arresting people, putting them in jail. Same in the UK. Yeah, well, I like that. Mampara is another good word. I said that last night with the Solidarity guys, and they're like, was it last night? When did I go? It was last night when I went. Yeah, last night I spoke to them, and see, it's been a long day. It's just yesterday, just blur. I even missed my radio program. I tried calling in last night. I think Holden was there. I think he was listening. I called him, but I couldn't hear them, so I could only stay for a couple minutes. Yep. It's like celebrating our language and culture like anyone else. Do not get such a thorn in their side. Because they're afraid. They're cowards. They are cowards. They suppress Tswana, they suppress Xhosa, they suppress Nu, they suppress Khoi and sign languages. They suppress anything that doesn't fit their world desires for supremacy. That's what it's all about. You were so professional in the Biz News interview. Oh, did you like that, John von Rensburg? Okay, yeah. Yeah, I was on Biz News. And that's another thing. So last night I come back. First off, I did my morning broadcast. I made a couple videos yesterday which took off, and published them real quick because events were breaking. Then I did my news program. Then I went on Ronaldo with him. Then I did some prep. I made another video before I left. I put that online. That was because another news story broke. Then I drove down towards D.C. I met with the guys. They were about an hour late because traffic was horrific coming out of D.C. So they were an hour later. Supposed to meet at 5, got there at 6. I left there about 8:30. They were already gone. And I drove back, got back here. I called in the radio program on the way back. Then I came back here and I edited the video with the interview with Kali Creel. And then I posted it. Then I'd been night program for a couple hours. Then I went to bed and I got up and I was interviewed by Biz News. And as soon as I finished being interviewed by Biz News, I interviewed Gabriel Mackin from Cape Town, who's in London right now on the Social Research Foundation. I finished that. Then I produced another video, published it. Then I went online to do my news program. And then finally this afternoon, I went and did some reading and took a nap for about 3 hours and got back up and started working another video, which I published before this video. And we had the debut of the edited second interview with Jaco Kleinhans. And then I came on and I'm doing this now. That's what my schedule is like. Next week, I'm at the War College. So I will be doing live streams from my mobile during my lunch break, and maybe one in the early morning, my time, which would be afternoon in South Africa. The late night one will probably go on, but it will be shorter than what I've been doing because I need to get some sleep. So UFC Michael Bisping was robbed Cape Town at gunpoint while he was there for an MMA event. Oh, Loretta, yeah, it is crazy busy. I've done over 90 prepared videos, and I've done God knows how many live streams. I'm now doing 2 live streams per day minimum. That's 60 a month. Yep. Thank you, Debbie. So you guys all saw that in business. Okay, let me go there and see what it says. I did. They used the title of something I said. I created that phrase, and they used it. So I wanted to use it on my video, but I told her, go ahead and use it. Go ahead and use it. Okay, Joel Pollack, Franz Cronier. See, but Google doesn't promote my interview. Okay, so look at this. This is when I type in business. They put Joel Pollack up there, Franz Cronier, Oh, there it is. Okay, there I am. Okay, wow, third on the list, 46,000 views.
And they failed to do it and left that burden on the U.S. taxpayer. The program was meant to be an emergency program 22 years ago for 5 years. We've continued it for 22 years. And it'll continue elsewhere, apparently. But South Africa's foreign policy decisions are harming U.S. national security interests in the view of the current administration. And
you can see that was 8:04. Hang on, I like my eyes closed.
Those who
like that. There we go. You can see that was 8:04 in the morning for me after I went to bed at 3 o'clock. I'm already up doing this.
if the price will be South Africans with HIV.
Okay, let's go to the delegation. You met with them. What is their ultimate aim?
Well, from what they've said to me, their goal here is to inform U.S. policymakers, as they've been doing for a number of years, building relationships with people on this side of the Atlantic. No different than other groups that lobby. We have groups from South Africa and the business community, groups from Germany, from the UK, who come to the United States, from Israel, from around the world to
Look how much I slowed it down for that interview.
lobby our congressmen and our legislators to ensure that their interests, whether it's selling goods or it's affecting policy in their country, are addressed. And that's what they said they were here for. They were concerned about what's happening in South Africa, and so they came over, very concerned about the relationship between the U.S. I think it's interesting to note that the government of South Africa, who didn't follow traditional diplomatic channels to approach Washington for a delegation, apparently is unable to get a meeting with this.
Sandile, thank you for your membership, brother. Appreciate that.
Administration. But those who have been talking to Democrats and Republicans for years and not insulting the United States were able to get an appointment and actually get to the White House.
Well, South Africa is already facing retributive steps. What more do they want?
Well, I would disagree with that, Chris. There's no retribution here. This point here with, this is the thing that's being missed, the South Africa.
See, this is the part where I say that there are no sanctions in South Africa. That's nonsense. Would the current administration keep the Latin cartels from unifying this conflict? I don't know. That's a tough question to answer there. How much influence did the World Economic Forum have over the ANC? Well, they have some. They're promoting them, that's for sure. They're probably funding them, too. Love that they gave you the counterintelligence officer, the title. What? They didn't give me the title counterintelligence. They said intelligence analyst. Oh, you mean that I had it? Okay, that's, yeah, no. They described me as an intelligence analyst, which I am. Yep. Yes, Necrocrux, it will tank. Just give it time. It will tank.
The government is not reading the room at all. And Cyril Ramaphosa is not helping. He had an op-ed that appeared in Foreign Policy magazine, which he attacked Israel and obliquely attacked the United States, and just, his State of the Nation address saying will not be bullied. The president's executive order took no punitive action against South Africa. This is a lie in South African media. There are no sanctions. There were no steps taken. The actions of the executive order that were concrete were the United States would cease foreign assistance to South Africa because its actions are contrary to our national security interest. South Africa was warned about this over a year ago when Congress had a bipartisan bill in the legislature to review the relationship with South Africa and consider suspending diplomatic ties. That was February 6th of 2024 under the Biden administration, not under Trump. Trump had nothing to do with it. This is continuation, and South Africa's government continues to take steps that are contrary to our national security interests in the future.
What I actually love about it is their equalizer. They really, the sound quality is amazing. They're really good, the stuff they put out, the videos.
Of Washington. And so that's what's going on here. But there were no punitive steps. All the South African media keep saying sanctions and Trump is trying to punish and interfere. The two actions he took was ended foreign aid. Well, the United States was $2 trillion in deficit spending last year. We don't have any money. We can't continue at this pace with almost $40 trillion of federal debt and all the other debt this country has. We have to get our house in order. And South Africa is not cooperating with our national interests. And so why should we be giving money to people who run contrary to our interests and harm our national interests, including nuclear cooperation with Iran? There's no way the United States is going to tolerate that. I mean, you just can't accept that. They're not going to tolerate that. And the second step was the refugee program. That's an internal decision for the United States. 7.6 million people in Africa are currently registered refugees in UNHCR camps that want to come to the United States and other countries, and they're in line. Well, the president has made a prioritized program for those in South Africa to want to come. These are internal decisions. And yes, I realize that both of them affect things in South Africa, but that's what happens when South Africa continues to disrespect the United States and hold it at a distance. They're the ones that aren't being diplomatic, not Washington.
What next can be?
Yeah, anyway, so there. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. For those who hadn't seen it, that's up there. Yeah, I did that this morning. I enjoy going on there. Chris is, it's a pleasure to talk to her and do those interviews. What do you mean I sound like a politician? All right. You should listen to some Retief Burger. I'm not a gospel person, although I respect it. It really doesn't do it for me. Marcel says, just subscribe. Oh, Charlize Theron said that. Yeah, well, she's an idiot. Yeah, she became very unattractive when she opened her mouth. If you want to hurt the NC, go after the money. Yep, exactly. Did you ever eat a Brie Borodke? Yeah, well, I've had Brie Borodkes. Yeah, of course. Not my favorite thing, but they're fun. They're just grilled cheese, essentially. Audit his own speeches. Yeah, I'm auditing my own speeches. That's right. Cheese, tomato, and onions. No onions. Nope. No, I don't eat those. Nope. Have you seen the news of Botswana? I haven't seen 50 dead, but I have that story. Had I reported on it yet? I don't know if I reported. I thought I reported it last night about I had 9 dead in Botswana, so it's 50 now. That's sad. That's really sad. Thank you for sharing that. I know it's 50. I didn't see that. Thank you, Colette. This could morph into Central America's holy war. I'm not sure what you mean by that, Holden. The cartels. You should say ANC instead of South Africa. We're not part of the ANC. Well, Charmaine, the ANC acts on behalf of South Africa, and I frequently say ANC, but they are acting on instead of South Africa. So, the National Party didn't represent everyone in South Africa, so it still represented South Africa. Yep. All right, so that's Chris Stain, and I enjoy going on there. So she asked me to come on rather short notice. I'm happy to do it. So the Department of State has identified God bless it, that's the wrong one again, $60 billion in cuts. Yep. Wow, $60 billion in foreign aid cuts. State Department identified approximately $60 billion in cuts to U.S. foreign assistance as part of an ongoing aid review. They reviewed 9,100 grants identified for elimination. Over 4,000 and worth $4.4 billion, according to an internal department memo obtained by the National Review. They also address ongoing cuts in AID. So, in line with that, U.S. terminates funding for polio, HIV, malaria, and nutrition programs around the world. There's some 5,800 contracts the Trump administration formally canceled in a wave of emails, which I talked about for South Africa. So, people will die, said Catherine Kuyo Butungi, executive director of the African Population and Health Research Center. But we will never know because even the programs to count the dead are cut. Oh my God, people are going to die, but we won't know because you can't count dead bodies. Oh, you need to be paid. We must pay you to keep track of the people who die. Oh gosh, African sovereignty. We're sovereign Africa. Yay, Ubuntu. Give us money. We don't have any money. Oh, you're hurting my feelings. Oh my God. The projects terminated include HIV treatment programs that serve millions of people, the main malaria control programs, and the worst affected African countries, and global efforts to wipe out polio. Now watch, they'll come with climate change. The reason we have this malaria is because of climate change. No, you have malaria because you leave your trash everywhere and have standing water everywhere and have no programs to eradicate mosquitoes. That's why you have malaria. Okay, $131 million grant to UNICEF's polio immunization program, which paid for planning, logistics, and delivery of vaccines to millions of children. Well, $131 million, that's not a lot of money. Ask the European Union for it. Ask BRICS for it. China's the second largest economy in the world. Let them pay for it. $90 million contract with the company Chemonics for bed nets, malaria tests, and treatments that would have protected 53 million people. Well, let those people buy their own bed nets. Project run by FHI 360 that supported community health workers' efforts to go door-to-door seeking malnourished children in Yemen. Let the Houthis take care of the malnourished children in Yemen. That's their country. They run it, the terrorist Houthi organization. Let them take care of it. All the operating costs and 10% of the drug budget for the Global Drug Facility, the World Health Organization's main supply channel for tuberculosis medications, which last year provided tuberculosis treatment for nearly 3 million people, including 300,000 children. Why is the United States providing money for a World Health Organization activity? Let the United Nations budget pay for that. HIV care and pediatric treatments run by Elizabeth Glazer's AIDS Foundation that were providing life-saving medication to 350,000 people in Lesotho, Tanzania, and Eswatini, including 10,000 children, 10,000 pregnant women. Why are the governments of Lesotho, Tanzania, and Eswatini not providing that assistance? Why are we providing it 22 years later? Project Uganda to trace contacts of people with Ebola, conduct surveillance, and bury those who died from the virus. Actually, I was involved in that project. Contract to manage and distribute $34 million worth of medical supplies in Kenya. You know what I don't see here? Housing, emergency assistance, food, shelter for flood victims, hurricane victims in North Carolina, Florida, Georgia, fire victims from 2 years ago in Hawaii, or the fire victims in Los Angeles. I don't see any money here. All this is for the world. This is not the United States of the globe. It's not USG. It's USA. The United States of America. Merca. Merca, baby. Merca. Yeah, it's not the USA of the world. We are the world. We are the children. So let's start giving. There's a choice we're making. We're saving our own lives. It's true, you make a better day, just you and I. We are the world. Cyndi Lauper. We are the children. Good God. Why don't you have one of those, you famous artist? Bruce Springsteen, get out there. Belt one out for us. Still rolling on the floor when Trump said they were paying for condoms for Hamas. Yeah, that was funny. Well, we're paying for condoms for Botswana. We're paying for condoms for... I showed you the condoms from Botswana. I don't have them here now. Do I have them? Hang on. Were they in here? I'm trying to remember. Where are my condoms? Apparently they're not in here. I thought they were in here. I lost my condoms. Where did my condoms go? Don't worry, I won't use them. They're 20 years old. But I have the Sequatohili condoms. They were here. Someone stole my condoms. Who stole my iPad and condoms? My condoms were here a moment ago. Well, I guess I'll go in without them. Hang on, baby. Wow. ANC was warned those voting for them should have long ago thought about what could happen if things change. Yep, Anita, you were correct. Did you see that the security guards were spraying pepper spray at everyone at Home Affairs who were complaining about the system? No, I didn't see that. Wheelie shift. That's news to me. Gerard Benada, welcome. Climate change is a hoax, he says. Okay. I've always wanted to see the great whites in South Africa. Wales? Didn't know they were there. This is my eldest son's 42nd birthday. Oh, Vilma, happy birthday to him. All right, enjoy the party. Afrikaner Borough says, may I ask a pertinent question without being labeled a troll? Well, Afrikaner Borough, the reason we're trolling is you made an allegation and just make the statement, make your claim. Your claim was invalid, but you're making underhanded remarks. You haven't been punished tonight for it. You can ask a question as long as it's reasonable. I wonder if Rob is going to boost your channel as well, like he said on Ronaldo's channel. Well, Herman Volka, lots of people are speculating about lots of things. I can tell you that there are a number of things happening in South Africa that I'm aware of that I don't share, that I am unable to share because I must retain. What's the word I'm looking for? Not secrets, but you got to confidence. I must maintain confidences. I did see that Rob Hersoff was making some sort of mention today about something, and I can neither confirm nor deny what Rob said, and I'll leave it at that. How's that? But thank you, Herman. Actually need top business people and not politicians being government. Well, I agree with that. I didn't see the pepper spray thing. We're rolling on the floor. Okay. Zander van Rensburg. He doesn't like my singing. Yeah, it's terrible, isn't it? It's terrible. 20-year-old condoms. Yep. They're not stapled to a pamphlet. No, they are in the case. Maybe they're here. I thought I put them back in the box because I was showing people what they were. These are ones I had in Botswana. No, they're not there. Where did my condoms go, man? You don't hear that on every YouTube live stream. Where did my condoms go? That's usually an OnlyFans comment. Yep. Ask your question, Afrikaner Boer. But not in Afrikaans. I don't want to mistake what your question is. Johannesburg calls are growing for treason charge against lobby groups after reform. This is continue to push the Trump administration. Yeah, well, I'm going to make a video after this, and I did promise I was going to read this EFF memo. I'm going to do that. Sonia, there's a super chat from Sonia. I don't know why those aren't coming up. Is my sound down? I don't know. No. Anyway. Yeah, where are my condoms? I mean my iPad. But I've got the alert on. Let me turn it off and turn it back on. See if it starts making noise. It's not easy being an objective commentator. Much easier being a drunk asshole. That's true. Okay, I never accused. You asked me what I thought, and I replied, stick to the facts, please. So let me ask my questions. What happens? You did accuse. You stated unequivocally that I was a counterintelligence agent, and you believed that I had an ulterior motive. That was where your belief came. But anyway, you stick to the facts. And see, you're asking if you ask a question, then you get snarky. Ask your question. It was Walk Shark Week. Sunday, okay, we're at Tim Martens. Last night a sub said Home Affairs passports are not being issued. Well, people have come on here and said they picked up their passport in the past few days, although there is a problem now. But Sandile says, hit the like button if you think Colonel nailed We Are the World. They're going to hit the dislike button, Sandile. We are the world. Bruce Springsteen, man, sounds like he's choking on a friggin' bribe brookie. We are the children. We can neither confirm or deny that we are bride next to the frozen Mississippi. Sandile, man, they're going to hit the dislike button, man. Pork trotters. Okay, so look, I don't have any empathy here. There's Nigeria, Sudan, Bangladesh, Plan International. I work with Plan International. Yep, on HIV. See, the problem with all these people that they're running their mouths about HIV is that some of us have worked PEPFAR. Some of us have worked. I worked HIV before PEPFAR existed. Yep. Department of Defense has had programs for years before PEPFAR existed. We were incorporated into PEPFAR when it came about. Afrikaner is basically like the Amish, but with bakkies and cell phones. Please don't sing. Albert, well then give me a super chat and I'll stop singing. Chris, when you reach 50, no more need for condoms and rare occurrences. Hey. Speak for yourself, Veritas. Some people can still lay the wood. Okay, I'm still waiting. Did I miss this question? Scrooby News. You said something the other day was kind of marginal. We let it go. All right. Just don't see the question. Make sure I didn't miss it here. Oh, there it is. Okay. A year or so ago, I was invited to attend the U.S.-led session at the university on the historical corporate political responsibility campaign in South Africa. Are you familiar with such campaign? No, but I'm familiar with that sort of activity, which people, leftists, are trying to push to say that corporations have an obligation to do socially responsible things. Is that what we're talking about? I don't think corporations have any responsibility to do anything socially responsible. I have no problem if they do it, as long as it's voluntary and it doesn't affect shareholders. So a lot of corporations make decisions to have scholarships or to support things, to give back to the community, or, a lot of companies now these days will require their employees to have, a day of giving or something like that. And, that's fine. That doesn't really hurt the bottom line. I have no problem with that. Is that what we're talking about, Afrikaner? And by the way, how did that go? What did you discover there? That's a good question. Thank you for your question, by the way, Afrikaner Board. I appreciate good questions. Johan Krugel, imagine a government of just engineers and accountants. Well, I see a lot of problems. You know why? Now, this is where I'm going to be in. Now, it may not be the case, but what I heard on Ronaldo's program when I heard Rob Hersoff talking, his view and mine are different. Let me explain why. He's a wealthy guy, so maybe he knows better than I do, but I know from practical experience as well, so you can take it for what you want. He talked about the reason ESCOM is going to do well is because they have engineers in charge. I disagree. Whenever I've seen engineers get in charge of things, they fuck everything up. They're great at doing their job. They're great at planning to build something, to repair something, expand something. They're great at executing it, but they tend to, by and large, make shitty leaders. That's been my experience. Their head's up here. It's like I had a nuclear engineer work for me in Liberia, and his head was in the clouds all the time. You had to focus him all the time. You have to do that. So, no, my experience has been it's the rare engineer that's a good leader. It can be. So you don't have to be a subject matter expert to be a great leader in something. I don't have to know anything about the electricity industry to lead ESCOM to profitability. Nope. It helps if I do. I could be potentially much better if I do, but I don't have to have that ability to pull it off. So Rob Hersoff seemed to imply, or I got from that he was saying that the engineers are leading ESCOM and they're doing a great job. Maybe they are, but that's a rare situation. I think that usually those people screw things up because they're trained in a specific way to do things in specific functions. They follow a certain path. Entrepreneurs don't follow a path. Entrepreneurs who become great leaders are willing to take risk over here. Risk versus reward. What's going to be the outcome? And not tomorrow, but 10 years from now. And not 10 years from now, but 20 years from now. Where will we be? What will we accomplish? Elon Musk isn't where he is today because he suddenly decided to go into space exploration. He decided that decades ago. And he built a plan. I became a colonel for Africa on a plan I made in 1984. That did not come to fruition, the full realization of making colonel, until over 30 years later. Now, along the way, I did all this stuff, but reaching colonel was almost 30 years later. So, visionaries can make great leaders without knowing their field perfectly. And I always give the example of Lou Gerstner at IBM. God, he was brilliant. Saved IBM. How about client in Huns Bay? They do shark cage dive. Oh, okay, that's why you're interested in that. Yeah, accountants, no, they're not very good leaders. Getting an appointment for your passport is near impossible in my area. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Beyond a Storm, for sharing that. I get why men don't want to get married. No need to buy the cow if you're getting the milk for free. But why are ladies marrying the pig just to get the little sausage? Love, love, love the song about you. Not many people have bragging rights about a song dedicated. No, it's just, that was really nice of my subscriber. Very nice. Well, I got another one too. Okay, let me see if I got that one here. Did I play a little bit of that for you guys last night? My subscriber gave me another one. Hang on a second. And this one's kind of country, so it's not. Here you go. This is because my 50,000 subscribers. So let's play that.
Hit the mark never seen before. 50,000 strong, the crowds but thunder roar. From the rugby fields to Africa's shore, we're pouring the fire, showing so much more. He's the king of the screen with his grit and drive, an expert's eye like a beacon so alive. On your roots in the past, now he's taking flight. Colonel Wyatt's victory shining bright. Running through the stories, bringing truth to light, with a passion for the game that ignites the night. USA heart with an African soul, breaking boundaries, reaching every goal. He's the king of the screen with his grit and drive, an expert's eye like a beacon so alive. On your roots in the past, now he's taking flight. Colonel Wyatt's victory shining bright. Marching through the stories, bringing truth to light, with a passion for the game that ignites the night. USA heart with an African soul, breaking boundaries, reaching every goal. He's the king of the screen with his grit and drive, an expert's eye like a beacon so alive. On your roots in the past, now he's taking flight. Colonel Wyatt's victory shining bright.
It started to grow on me. I didn't like it at first.
Every subscriber's a friend joining in the ride, through the ups and downs, standing side by side, never giving up no matter the fight. Colonel's journey's one of pure delight. Now he's reached this peak, it's a night to keep. Celebrate the climb, now it's time to sleep. Dreams of tomorrow, limitless and free. Colonel Wyatt walking proud in victory.
That's only halfway through. There's another verse. I didn't like it at first. It sounded like a boys band. Then it sounded like some country thing, but it started to grow on me. But my subscriber who did that was one to produce the other song too with AI and came up with the lyrics and everything. That's pretty cool. But I'm gonna give you a little treat now for those if those want to hang around for it. This is gonna be fun if I can just find it. Where's it at? I gotta find it here. I gotta go back because it's been a while since I put this together. Now I didn't realize it'd been that long. I'm doing so much production. I got so many backup videos and files and screenshots and everything. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. Okay. So now you're going to have a little fun here, okay? Because now I've got the lyrics in front of me, so hang on. All right, here we go. You guys ready for this? You ready for this? Let me just shrink this down a little bit here. There we go. Okay, ready? Here we go. So this is the theme song we start with here because I'm going to lip sync it. How's that, okay? Ready?
Colonel Wyatt hits the screen, got stories bold and keen. Old soldier, sharp and mean, tells truths they've never seen. Rugby lover with a roar, Africa flowing in his core. YouTube rants they can't ignore, his passion makes his heart soar. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Military mind, keen and wise, truths come out, no disguise. South African skies, in his eyes, hear his voice, no surprise. Retired soldier with the fight, in the dark he brings the light. Angry rants, truths ignite, join the cause, join the ride. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call, shining light through it all. He's knocked on his door, trolls attack, but he's more with each click. Watch him soar on the truth waves. He explodes. Colonel Wyatt, hear his call. Shining light through it all. Trolls may rise, but he'll stand tall. Subscribe now, don't miss the brawl. Right now, don't miss the brawl.
I wouldn't dare sing that. Got to lip sync that one. Oh my goodness. Actually, I like doing. I've done the ones with Dean Chancey's song. I've done that one before, so got to find where that song's at. Dean Chancey, anyway. Millie Vanilli, yes, Millie Vanilli would be very impressed. Millie Vanilli would be very impressed. I just got to get some dreads. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. For the record, CSR is an ANC guilt trip campaign against South African private businesses. Tried to emotionally extort more money. Okay, thank you, Afrikaner. Okay, well, corporate social responsibility. Yeah, okay. All right, I mean, that's the sort of thing that people try doing here in the States, and I'm saying I don't agree with it. Corporations do it voluntarily. That's their prerogative as long as it doesn't hurt shareholders. Erica's grandfather was a soldier. Okay. Anyway. So battery's dying. Okay, I drained your battery with that song. Current theme is pre 50,000. The new one must be 50,000 subscribers plus one, and then 100,000. Change it again. Where are my tissues? Oh my goodness. Daryl Blocker in there. Oh, that name sounds very familiar. That sounds very familiar. Was I asked that question the other day too? Well, the song isn't promoted because I haven't released it. It's just on my Twitter account. You can watch the video there. But people keep asking me to put the MP3 out there. I might do that. El Marie loves this song. I love it too. That one really grew on me quickly. Afrikaner, I'm great for the role you're playing. More of us should also rise up and take leading roles. Afrikaner Boer, thank you. And I'm glad we've sorted out the misunderstanding about. Look, I mean, I was a counterintelligence officer. Don't hide that. That's published on my LinkedIn profile. It's in my CV. There's no reason to hide that. It wasn't clandestine work. If I did clandestine work, I couldn't tell you that anyway. I can neither confirm it nor deny it. But when I tell you I was a counterintelligence officer, obviously that was overt. Yep. When are you touring? The Brits came in and told them, no, play ball. Okay. Husband was one of the last intake of the army. Did him good. He can iron his clothes. Oh, so he got a benefit of his military service there. That's funny. Okay. Army, very cool. Shawnee Gross. Everyone have a great, okay, battery. USA's fit for a state. I know we don't want it as a state. Trust me. Okay. Okay, that's where I was at for. Okay, are you touring? I'm speaking to the lady today. All right, lip sync skills are on point. Well, I missed one of the choruses, but I remembered it as I got started. Remember, guys, the probability to be betrayed by young people is far more than a stranger. Well, that's usually how it works. Most sexual assaults are by people you know. Yeah, most murders are by people you know. Chris, I hope you're well. I saw you on business. You really showed that lady a thing or two and dismantled all the silly narratives. No, to be fair, Dino, Kristen wasn't pushing narratives. She didn't tell me the questions, but we talked a little bit ahead of time. Those are questions out there. So she posed the question to me and it gave me the chance to refute it or agree with it. So no, look, Kristen wasn't trying to push any narratives. She was very happy with the interview, by the way. So just, so you know, she didn't come off on it. If I went on if I went on Newsroom Africa or ENCA and they asked me questions, they'd be very unhappy with my answers. Kind of like when Joel Pollack went on there. They didn't like the answers. Often wondering how things would have played out if we had social media back. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah. Apartheid never would have lasted as long as it did if there had been social media in the 60s. Hey, Roy Pike. It's just seen the Lotus Eaters did a spot on Cyril poking the bear. The world is definitely getting out. South African government's treating South Africans. Yeah, the word is getting out. People are waking up. And I'm doing my best to let the world know. Okay. All right. So, yeah. Non-disclosure statements. What's that? Oh, no, yeah, you're saying, but you're old. I'm not old, man. I just retired from the Army 5 years ago. Get a grip. The secrecy term in your operation, no. The things I know I can never discuss unless they're just declassified. That's why I can talk about, in open terms about the 640,000 people didn't starve to death because of a report I wrote for the president, because that portion is not classified. What all went into the report, there was classified material. I can't discuss that. Things that I did 30 some years ago that are classified, I can never discuss those. They're not declassified. Most classified secrets are automatically reclassified every 25 years in the U.S. government. So, no, I can't. I mean, I was read on for programs like did an espionage investigation on the American that 3 people in the U.S. government knew about. It's a very, very sensitive topic. Nope, can't disclose that stuff. Nope, can't do it. You can't betray confidence. And that's what came up earlier. Someone mentioned something about something. I said, well, I mean, I'm privy to a lot of things. Look, I knew that AfriForum was Solidarity were coming to the States before they came over here. I couldn't betray that confidence because they asked if they can meet with her over here. And I agreed to meet with them when they got here. After they're here, I agreed to meet with them. So also know about other people coming to America from South Africa because confidences, it doesn't make me a special person, but not betraying those confidences, people trust you, So, yep. Anyway. Many conservative creators have seen a video about it and have joined in the... Well, yeah, a lot of them don't know squat about South Africa. They're suddenly experts on South Africa trying to get clicks. I love getting clicks. I love getting subscribers, but that's not my motivation why I've been doing this. I've been doing this for a long time. All right, so the EFF wrote what I call the Jerry Seinfeld comedy hour here. So let me read this. I'm going to read to you and then just comment on it. So, retired in the U.S. military could be 37 years of age there, Shadow Seeker. If you join the Army at 17 or the Navy at 17, in 20 years you can retire at 37. So we have 38 and 40-year-old retirees in the military. Yep. I stayed a lot longer than that. Okay, so the economic freedom fighters are disgusted by the attempt of right-wing groups, AfriForum and Solidarity Movement, to mobilize through memorandums, it was a memorandum, to the United States of America's government to interfere in the domestic affairs of the country. In what should be viewed as a treasonous acts by both AfriForum and Solidarity Movement, they are seeking to aid from the U.S. to fund the Afrikaner minority for security and training structures meant for their exclusive benefits. That's not treasonous. The government's not providing those assistances. They're looking for somebody to do it. You expect us to pay for your HIV. So does that make the ANC treasonous because they expect the U.S. government to pay for HIV? They went to the U.S. to lobby us for a PEPFAR. So are they treasonous? No. Silly. And to perpetuate their narrow political interest and for the inherent beliefs to be viewed as a privileged group. Well, the only people that think Afrikaners are privileged are the ANC and the EFF. You fools believe that. Even South Africans don't believe that. We saw that. We talked to Gabriel Mackin today, and he's talking about Social Research Foundation's polls. And, polls consistently believe the ANC is full of it, and so is the EFF. In essence, AfriForum and the Solidarity Movement are asking Trump to help them partition South Africa. That's horse manure. They got their news from News 24, which lied. 140 years after the Berlin Conference, these racist right-wing organizations are asking a major Western power to help them partition South Africa and create a whites-only enclave at the southern tip of Africa. That's pure fiction. They didn't ask for that. That's not in the memo. I've got the memo right here, 5 pages. They didn't ask for a racially exclusive enclave in southern Africa. That's just the fantasies of the EFF trying to get attention. There's no mention of that in this Washington memo. None whatsoever. And I interviewed them, and I have no reason to doubt their word. We're not surprised that these right-wing movements have rejected the offer to be refugees in the U.S. and instead opted to keep the white minority privileges. First off, they didn't reject anything. They said that they represent groups in South Africa and they're responsible for them. So let me be very clear about something very quickly here. AfriForum and Solidarity, if there are 10 Afrikaners in South Africa, they have a responsibility to be in South Africa to help protect and promote Afrikaner culture. That's why they exist. It's the raison d'etre. That's why they exist. Reason for being. So, white minority privileges. What are those? Home invasions, being shot, raped, murdered, robbed, being denied opportunity and employment, being denied government bursaries, being denied jobs. Those are the white privileges. Being called monkeys, being called dogs, being called genetically inferior. Are those the white privileges you're talking about? And keep their vast hectares of land and farms that they own at the exclusion of the black majority. And see, that's total bullshit. The black majority is not excluding from owning land. Anybody can own land. It's there. Go buy it. And the government could quit being racist and issue title deeds to the millions of people living in RDP housing and give them land instantaneously. But the EFF doesn't want that. They want to control the land as a political party. They think they're the big chief of Africa. So this is just pathetic. It's really sad. It really is. I thought about doing a video just on this, but we'll see. Vast hectares of land. By the way, I've rubbished that whole thing about South Africans and whites owning land. As I pointed out, South African whites only own, in 2017, the most recent data available from a government audit, 2017, white South Africans are representing 0.19% of the white population of South Africa owned 29% of the private land in South Africa, 23% of the total land in South Africa. White South Africans owned slightly more than the entire government at 21%. So that's just total nonsense, lying to the people. All right, so where they can exploit Africans for cheap disposable labor while enjoying the fruits of the land they acquired through violent dispossession. You mean the way that the Mfukani acquired land for the Zulu? The way that the Xhosa acquired land from the Khoisan? The way that the Venda displaced people? The way that the Basotho were persecuted by the Ndebele and the Basotho and the Tswana by the Ndebele? The way the Griquas were attacked by the Ndebele? Is that what you're talking about? Violent dispossession there, EFF? These morons don't even know their own history. Cheap African labor. Isn't it the government at the ANC that sets the minimum wage at like $1.02 an hour? It's not white folks. It's the majority-led government. Furthermore, these organizations seek to circumvent the implementation of Bella, NHI, and the expropriation bill by seeking a foreign state to meddle in the affairs of the South by putting pressure on the government to repeal these acts. That's true. But the ANC sought foreign interference to repeal the Native Lands Act and all the other racist legislation. So why is it different for AfriForum to try to get a foreign government to get South Africa to repeal racist legislation when the ANC did it for decades? What's the difference here? What makes you morally superior? See, Julius Malema and his merry band of pajama-wearing, red suit, prison jumpsuit morons are idiots. If these demands were to be carried out by the government, it would mean the loss of our sovereignty as a state. No. Countries make sacrifices all the time to keep relations and make deals with countries. Look what Ukraine's about to do so they don't lose their country. Additionally, the request for funding for Afrikaner security structures means that they want resources for the military training of self-defense units and commandos. Commandos to launch a coup against the Democratic state. What a bunch of fucking morons. Commandos. Did you say pussy communist? Pussy communist? I said posse comitatus. I heard pussy communist. You said pussy communist. No, I said posse comitatus. No. Commandos. Here's your sign. You know, stupid people should walk around with signs. That way you wouldn't ask them questions. Hey, listen, Julius, I was wondering about this command. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your sign. Sorry. Here's your sign. Commandos. They want commandos. I got to make a video on this one, folks. I got to make a video on this one. And it gets better. It gets better here. And secession from the Republic. They've never asked for secession. The people asked for secession live in the Western Cape. There's 3 movements for asking for secession in the Western Cape. It's not the AfriForum. They've opposed it. What are you talking about? Solidarity. These people are idiots. This is propaganda here. Listen to this. They want a whites-only homeland in secession. The U.S. is known to fund and arm anti-government rebels. Okay, right. Yeah, we did the Contras in Nicaragua. Oh, definitely. We did the Contras, such as UNITA, which waged a decades-long civil war against the Angolan government, serving as a tool for Western imperialist interests in the region. So the MPLA was a communist imperial tool of the Soviet Union. And we didn't support UNITA for decades long. We supported Renamo. And then eventually, after South Africa asked us, we supported UNITA. So, and in supporting Renamo, which was similarly supported to destabilize Mozambique government. No, we didn't. That was a South African creation. We had nothing to do with Renamo. And to prevent socialist progress in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, socialist progress, there's no such thing as socialist progress. Every single country with a socialist or communist government has regressed, has collapsed, has failed. Never once. Oh, next time, we'll just get it right. This wasn't real socialism. This wasn't real communism. It will never work because it goes against the inherent nature of Homo sapiens. Homo sapiens inherently are self-interested. They are. And inherently, there's always a segment of psychopaths, a small percentage of people who are psychopaths who undermine social order. And there are always people who will profit at the expense of other people. You can't socialize that out of history. And people are motivated by tangible things, whether it's a pat on the back, pat on the head, a cash reward, profitability, a bigger house, a better car, a bigger family, the hottest chica or dude, whichever you're into. I didn't tell you which way you could go. All right. Yeah, so it's just stupid. No such thing as socialist progress. It's socialist regression, as well as various Islamic militant groups in Afghanistan and other countries. So you're accusing the U.S. of funding Islamic militant groups. Really? Such as? Well, we did help the Taliban, 1979. That's true. But they weren't a violent Islamic group. They became one later on. Furthermore, it's the U.S. that trained and funded Osama bin Laden. We didn't train him. We did provide material assistance, and he was part of the group that got it because he fought with the Taliban, but we didn't train him. They make it sound like we brought him to Fort Bragg and train him. And other various groups that launched regime change in Libya? Nope. Syria? Nope. Cuba? Yeah, we did. The Bay of Pigs. That's correct. We did do that. The fingerprints of U.S. destabilization tactics are evident across the world, and their support for Afrikaner right-wing extremists would follow the same pattern. This is treasonous and should have our government's full attention. Not treasonous. All the stuff here you've just made up. It's not true. South Africa is a democratic country that follows due process. That's simply a false statement, too. In making and passing laws, with members of the public being consulted before any laws are enacted, well, you consult the public and you simply ignore them. What's your point there, Juju? For AfriForum to call for a foreign government to apply pressure in order to change certain laws is anti-democratic and interferes with long-established international principles of non-interference in domestic affairs of sovereign nations, which is exactly what the African National Congress did in lobbying for sanctions in London, Amsterdam, Berlin, and Washington in the 1980s. Why is it okay for the ANC to do it, but not for the Afrikaners to do it? The difference here is that the ANC resorted to terrorism in addition to sanctions, and AfriForum simply asked for an office call. You're so terrified of that, Julius. Your fear of the white man is epic, buddy. It's not really a fear. It's just propaganda he's using. It comes as no surprise that these right-wing organizations are not concerned about the cutting off of funding from PEPFAR. Oh, but they are. But they are. They express that concern to me personally, which helps fight HIV/AIDS. They're not concerned about it because in their minds, HIV/AIDS affect black people in the majority. Well, of course it does. 80% of the population is black, you dumbass. And the former justice on the Constitutional Court, what's his name, Cameron? He's a gay man. He has HIV. I think white people care about that too. Always racializing everything. Instead, they're fighting to keep it going, as that is their direct business interest that mainly benefits whites who own and control the means of production in our country. There are more middle-class black South Africans than are entire whites in the entire country. What a crock. For Trump to continue making ill-informed decisions exposes the narrow political views that he holds as an individual and his complete disregard for diplomatic relations between the U.S. and South Africa. It is South Africa that has complete disregard for diplomatic relations, picking up the telephone. Hi, Elon, this is Cyril. Can you tell the Don quit targeting us? It's really embarrassing. I mean, I can't tell people we just came back from Tehran for that money to pay for the party. Come on, Elon. You're a South African man. Help it out. Come on, boat. Come on, be a good guy. I'll put you up at Pala Pala. Yeah, no, I'll put you up at Pala Pala. Come on, Elon. I'll give you the master suite. How's that? That is not diplomatic. That is ignoring the diplomatic process. That is South Africa ignoring it. The 5 months that the South African government rebuked and ignored our requests to understand what was going on with the Lady R, a sanctioned Russian ship delivering goods in crates at the port in Simonstown on a naval base in the dark of night for 5 months ignoring us, that's not diplomatic. That's outside the norms of diplomatic relations. And all the nonsense, we will not be bullied. And now sending a team to Washington, D.C. without even going through our embassy in Hatfield to get country clearance to come to the States with a diplomatic mission, seeking to have an office call with the president and telling us that he's wrong. The people being undiplomatic and not following the Vienna Conventions are the government of South Africa, not the United States. By failing to engage its counterparts. No, you morons in the government of South Africa didn't engage us. You engaged the press. First off, you engaged your mouth. Wah, 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 wah. You engaged your mouth. You insulted America over and over again. You lied. They're sanctioning us. There's no sanctions. That's a total lie. Oh, they're punishing us. No punish. Well, we're a sovereign nation. Who gives a shit? You're a sovereign nation. Trump didn't demand anything of you. The money's just gone because of your misdeeds already. You're not getting it back. Move on. His administration's willingness to entertain the treasonous demands of AfriForum and solidarity speaks volumes about their shared reactionary racist growth. Look, the only racist here is Juju. There's the only racism, the only mention of race is by Julius Malema and the EFF in here. No one else is talking about race. Not once did white people come up in my conversation with those four people from the Solidarity Movement. The term Afrikaner came up a lot. I even mentioned I consider Afrikaners to be bigger than that, and I got positive nods from a couple people in the group. So he's the one racializing this, not them. We therefore call on the so-called government of national unity to designate AfriForum and Solidarity as a domestic terrorist organization. Domestic terrorist organization. You mean like the EFF calling for people to firebomb and attack 43 clicks locations over an advert that a black man put on a site owned by a BE black-owned company? Remember that in 2020? Remember that? Tresemme? The Tresemme ad? when the EFF sent their minions out and attacked 43 clicks locations around the country, one of them throwing a Molotov cocktail into the clicks location? Do you mean like that domestic terrorism? Do you mean like calling for the murder of farmers and then they're murdered and in their own blood painted on the wall, kill the boar? Do you mean domestic terrorism like that, Malema? Is that what you're talking about? Actively working against the interests of the Republic by spreading lies and misinformation. Well, lies and misinformation is not treason. Maybe propaganda. So maybe you want to argue that they're spreading propaganda, but that's not a crime. That's free speech. So unlike the ANC, which actually murdered people and blew things up, which actually committed terrorism during the apartheid era. Yeah. Juju, you people are morons. You know, I know you actually understand this is all for playing for the cameras, but this is actual terrorism, folks. This is the African National Congress at work. Monday, June 16th. Durban, massive hunt after bomb blast. The Natal Mercury. City edition. That's actual terrorism, Julius Malema. Not people expressing their will and talking to people and lobbying. The ANC was not guilty of terrorism when it was in the United States asking for sanctions. It was guilty of terrorism when it blew up theaters and bars. Their actions are a direct threat to the stability and sovereignty of South Africa. They must be treated as such. No, they're not a direct threat to the sovereignty of South Africa or the safety of South Africa. They're a direct threat to black supremacy and cater enrichment. The agenda that the ANC and the EFF pursue, which has betrayed Ubuntu and betrayed the Freedom Charter. There you go. There you go. Ivan Klassen, of course I understand. I've understood for decades. And I also understood how evil apartheid was. Whatever the intentions were, the way it was rolled out, the way it played out was evil. Limpet mines, yeah. Well, people in Rhodesia learned that. Played Easter egg looking for mines when we went into town. Good God. Yeah, these idiots were born after apartheid. They never suffered this. They clearly know the history. U.S., Renamo, you're a moron. We had nothing to do with Renamo. Chris, thank you from all our hearts. You're helping expose this hatred and anti-minority racism. Well, I'm about to do another video that's going to talk specifically about that when I finish with the stream. And I'll try to publish it before I go to bed tonight. I'm going to expose Naledi Pandor, who is a dim star. You know that Naledi is star in Swana. So she's a dim star. Naledi Pandor, who's still looking for attention. In addition to that, going to talk about Herman Mashaba and his nonsense. Somebody must have knocked him off the back of a bucky and he hit his head recently because he's just gone off the deep end. I thought he was a reasonable person. I interviewed him. He seemed like a straight oak, but he's really got some pent up anger and frustration. Whoever apparently didn't like becoming a multimillionaire under apartheid, it still affects him to trauma today. Thank you for all. Okay, Black 7 entitled attitude. Not all black folks, Abe Grayling. Don't make a blanket statement like that. Many black South Africans do, but some white South Africans have an entitled attitude too. You have to understand. This is not helping when you stereotype people. I know a lot of black South Africans. I know black conservatives who feel the exact same way that I do about events, about economics, about the capital market system, about the corruption, about equal treatment for everybody. So you can't just blanket. That doesn't help. When black supremacist racists do it, it doesn't help. When white folks do it doesn't help. No, yeah, true. Yeah, no worries. But it's important. It's important for me. I don't want people to misunderstand where I'm coming from because the liars are going to come out and they make all kinds of lies. You know, he's a radical. No, I'm not. All the bombs in the 80s was in high school back then. Pretoria was big. One remember saying car parks blocks away. Huh. Thank you. You guys are welcome. My pleasure. Born in 1991, Erica C. You have nothing to do with it. I beat my bro-in-law outside clicks. Yeah, but I guarantee, Nick, if he'd beaten up people with sufficient skin pigmentation, he would have been arrested without the video. Yeah, Durrett, BE is the biggest load of crap. Braun, they made it a public holiday. Youth Day. Yeah, Youth Day, you're right. Colin Powell bringing a vial of anthrax into Congress was so evil. He didn't bring a vial of anthrax in. You believe that was anthrax in that? Come on, man. Get real. Yeah, I can't get ARVs anymore. It's funny. No, I got what you meant. Rephrase. Gotcha, Abe. That's why I didn't attack you. I just said we got to be clear about that. Yeah, it's like, that's what I do. I refute the nonsense. Willem's getting a Coke and whiskey. There you go. Enjoy that, man. So anyway, yeah, got that done. Where are we at here? Why is that open? Oh, I need that for later on. I had something open and realized it was open. Let's see if I'm bombarded. Oh, people are sending me a message while in the middle of the night. Let me see. Oh, that's not supposed to be here. Damn it. Okay. 28 requests to join. 44. That's UK. Well, you're in. And only one person got in. People are leaving the groups all the time on WhatsApp. So you can request over there. And what I do is I go through when someone else comes up. If someone's left the group, we put another person in. Okay. Someone left this other group. So I've got room here. Oh, man. So I can put someone here. There's 95 requests to join here. Come on. Members. Request. Okay. All right, Alan, you're in. I think that's probably going to be it. Yep, that's it. So I got 3 people in those 2 groups. So you can keep asking for that stuff, folks, if you want to join. I'll put them in as much as I can. All right, so there you go. Okay, everybody's switching off for cons, trying to keep me challenged here late at night. So what's that? Oh, Marius von Straten, thank you for your subscription. A little slow on subscriptions tonight. Okay. All right. So why did a crew of Yale anti-science extremists publish research questioning the COVID vaccine? Look how far we've come now, folks. A year ago, 2 years ago, if you questioned the COVID vaccine, you would be destroyed. They would come after you. They would attack you. They would cut you out of social media. Now it's everywhere. Look at this. Now the truth is coming out. The Post editorial board. A new study from Yale University has reportedly made progress on learning why some people experience symptoms like fatigue, insomnia, and dizziness after the Rona vaccine that can last for months or even years. And happily, the authors are not getting slammed as anti-science Nazis with social media herds demanding that they get defunded and fired. Yet not so long ago in America, expressing the slightest hesitation about the Rona jabs or mentioning the fact they didn't exactly work as government leaders claimed and even carried some risk, far from uncommon for brand new medical treatments, was treated as a moral enormity, a crime deserving of social and professional punishment, let alone trying to find out hows and whys of these risks. The same was true of saying that schools should be open, that little kids shouldn't be masked, that lockdowns cause more harm than good, and on and on and on down the list. The progressive Panopticon was created by the feds and blue state executives like Gavin Newsom and, of course, Tom Wolf here and Cuomo in New York. It was aided and abetted by the mainstream, the mandarins of big tech, now seemingly chastened, and even by America's scientific community. The fever has broken, yet the same cultural leaders seem to be trying to pretend it all never happened. Wow. So, yeah, that's all coming out. So that's there. The New York Times admits that the jab was deadly. Scientists describe rare syndrome following Rona jabs. In a small study, patients with the syndrome were more likely to experience reactivation of Epstein-Barr virus and high levels of coronavirus protein. The Rona 19 jabs were powerfully protective, preventing millions of deaths, but a small group of people that may have led to constellation of side effects, including exercise intolerance, fatigue, brain fog, tinnitus, and dizziness, together referred to post-jab syndrome. Now they admit it. But see, they still try to say the jab worked. Yep. Rona jabs cause long-lasting side effects, according to the new study. Wow. Started misinformation 2020, misinformation as to what the jabs could do, with the experts making any number of unsupported claims. Pfizer said the shot was 100% effective. Nothing is 100% effective. That's just a fiction. And anyone who questioned that got censored. I didn't even question it. And I still got censored, accused of questioning it. I knew it was bullshit, but I didn't bother to say that on YouTube. And I got shut down. Wow. It was key to visiting family because a jab would prevent transmission to older relatives. That was a lie. Dr. Fauci and the CDC and the FDA and so on all made unsupported claims about jab efficacy. Fauci in particular set out distinct targets for jab uptake to effectively end the Rona scare. Reach a certain threshold of shots and the virus would be severely limited. But he later acknowledged that was a lie. Yeah, anyway, legendary lies. New Yale study casts light on jab-caused side effects. Yep. Now it's all coming out. Well, we were expecting something from the Epstein files. You were. I wasn't. I don't really care about the Epstein files. It's not going to change my life in any way. No new bombshells in the release. Conservative political commentator Rogan O'Hanley, known as DC Drano, and content creator Chaya Raichik, and conservative political commentator Liz Wheeler hold up binders with a cover titled The Epstein Files. I've never heard of any of those people. Why did they get special access? Attorney General Pam Bondi released government documents related to the wealthy financier Epstein, but the first wave of files posted on the Justice Department website have largely been circulating in the public domain for years and didn't include any new bombshells. Small batch documents include copies of flight logs from the private plane, but it should have been available in multiple court cases. Justice Department also released a blacked out list of masseuses and evidence list showing entries for more than 150 items, including nude images, massage tables. She released documents during a Fox News appearance on Wednesday, declaring, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information released. Well, that was a big nothing burger. Thank you for that, Pam. That's disappointing. How about you issue warrants, arrest warrants, bench warrants for the rest of Michelle Wu in Boston, Brandon Johnson in Chicago, Gavin Newsom in California, and start right there. Once you issue arrest warrants for them, then you can go after the governor of Minnesota, Tim Walz, all for obstructing justice, obstructing the Immigration and Naturalization Service, ICE. That's when you start doing that, Pam Bondi, we'll start believing that you're actually there for the American people. But until you start doing that, just another hack. I hate to say that, but this is bullshit. This is all big buildup for nothing. There was nothing in the Epstein files that no one had ever seen before. Nonsense. She trolled us, and I'm disappointed. I thought she's a great pick for Attorney General. I still think she's a great pick for Attorney General, but this is not a good way to start. You've made empty promises about going after these people who violate the law and obstruct the federal authorities and the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution. You've done jack squat about it. I know you've been Attorney General for a week, but you should have had this plan in place and gone after these people. Purebloods. That's right. When I was at the Defeat the Mandates rally, I covered that as a journalist. Guys walk around with signs, pure blood semen available. Yep. No Amazon, no Walmart. Leftist hate wankers now want to boycott businesses because they don't like the prices. They didn't do it when Biden was president. Notice that? The prices quintupled under Biden and they didn't do any protest. But now Trump is there. Prices haven't gone up and now they want to protest to cripple the American economy. These people are self-loathing hate wankers. Probably people who are very unpopular in high school. No Amazon, no Walmart. Protests calling for economic blackout has some celebrity support. Grassroots effort calls for boycott of spending except for essentials such as food and medicine. No, boycott it all, you pussies. The campaign has supported celebrities like John Leguizamo, Bette Midler, and Stephen King, all of whom nobody cares about. A grassroots is calling for a 24-hour economic blackout and urging people not to shop at major retailers on Friday as a form of protest against corporations, politicians, and banks. And the social media-driven campaign has gained traction among several celebrities. Yeah, the group founded by activist John Schwartz makes no affiliation with a political party on its website, but states its focus is to fight corruption in government and corporations. He's got 200,000 likes. Mega corporations have driven up prices, underpaid their workers, and outsourced jobs while raking in record profits. All of that is horseshit. McDonald's is paying $22 an hour for people who should be making $8 an hour. That's triple the price of a meal at McDonald's for me. Instead of $6, I have to pay $18 to get a meal at McDonald's. Hence, I don't eat at McDonald's anymore. Record profits? No. No, a lot of companies don't have record profits. Poultry industry doesn't have record profits. The reason eggs are $18 a dozen is because the morons in the Biden regime ordered the destruction and murder and slaughtering of 20 million hens that laying eggs. Yeah, these people are idiots. So tomorrow they're going to boycott. Well, I'll buy something from Amazon tomorrow just to piss them off. Just to piss them off. A judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's mass firing of federal workers. A reactionary activist judge in California has ruled that the Office of Personnel Management must rescind memos directing agencies to carry out mass terminations. Yeah, well, that isn't going to work out very well. Yep. All the environmentalists are going nuts because the Trump administration fired hundreds of workers. The National Oceanographic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, the U.S.'s preeminent climate research agency. No, it's our preeminent agency, not climate agency. They hijacked it to be a climate agency. That's why they're losing all these people. The Commerce Department sent out emails to employees saying their jobs will be cut off at the end of the day. Other government agencies have seen huge staffing cuts in recent days. Well, ladies and gentlemen, who are we letting into the Air Force Academy? We know DEI has played a major role, excluding white males from attendance at the Air Force Academy and West Point, where members of the military taught to hate white people. Yep. Systemic racism, lies, DEI. Well, what's going on at the Air Force Academy? Over 100 cadets are caught cheating. The U.S. Air Force Academy said it was investigating possible violations of the Honor Code during a knowledge test after 100 cadets admitted to cheating or tolerating cheating. Air Force Academy said the cadets who admitted to violating the honor code received punitive sanctions and rehabilitation actions. The honor code is foundational to U.S. Air Force Academy and the character necessary warrior leader, said Lieutenant General Tony Baumanfein. The Academy said the investigation is ongoing. Well, if they were cheating, don't sanction. You remove them. We don't need cheats in the military. We don't need liars. They should be removed, especially someone that's aspiring to be an officer. That's not how you start your career as an officer. If you do that, then you become Mark Milley's of the world. Yep, we don't tolerate liars and cheats. Send them home. Mexico has sent drug lord Rafael Caro Quintero to the United States, along with like 28 other prisoners for prosecution in the United States for their crimes. So Mexico is sending us their criminals. But we asked for them. Mexico sent drug lord Rafael Caro Quintero, who is wanted for the notorious killing of U.S. DEA agent in 1985. Was it Kiki Camarena? To the U.S. with 28 other prisoners requested by the U.S. government. The defendants taken into U.S. custody today include leaders and managers of drug cartels recently designated as foreign terrorist organizations, the Justice Department said. It said they're facing charges including racketeering, drug trafficking, murder, illegal use of firearms, money laundering, and other crimes. Mexican government sent a statement they were wanted for their links to criminal organizations for drug trafficking, among other crimes. Also on the list were two leaders of the Los Zetas cartel, Mexican Miguel Trevino Morales and his brother Omar Trevino Morales, known as Z40 and Z42. The removal of the drug lords from Mexico coincided with a visit to Washington by Mexico's Foreign Minister Juan Ramon de la Fuente and other top economic and military officials. The meeting was latest in ongoing negotiations with the U.S. over trade and security relations. So, acting DEA Administrator Derek Maltz described Caro Quintero as a cartel kingpin who unleashed violence, destruction, and death across the U.S. and Mexico. Huh. There he is. He's the former leader of the Guadalajara cartel. They've been held in various prisons across Mexico, and now they're in America. Welcome, Lotus Eaters. Buck from Blair, and that one. All right, cool beans. That covers that stuff I want to get to. We got 300 people, 274 people left. Okay, 274. 337 likes. Got a little bit of super chat revenue. Thank you, guys, for the super chat revenue. Abraham, a flyer cheating is not an aviator. Obviously, no love for flying. Remove the cheaters. Exactly. Excise them from the body politic. Remove them. We cannot tolerate cheaters. We do not tolerate cheaters at the academies. 100 people. That's a lot. That's a lot. It's 25 per class on average, but I don't know which class it was administered to. It'd be a big hit on a class if they took them out, one class. Heinrich, being in mining at the time, I can tell you that the new Americana was coming weeks ahead of time. Yep, Noah seems to ride the coattails of Navy research. Trevor Champ. What else you guys got here? Arctic, yeah, there you go. He says, Heinrich, I think we, and especially our politicians, underestimate the information the Trump administration has in South Africa. He has the whole CIA and others looking at South Africa. I can neither confirm nor deny that. What I can tell you is that the U.S. government's intelligence agencies probably know more about what's going on in South Africa than many South African government officials. Talk about cutting your nose to split your face. They think they'll make a difference with their tiny numbers, like the case with Bud Light. Yep. Vaping made me a killing, thankfully, as we want to pay for 9 months. Oh, okay. Pure blood. All right. Where are we at here? You called a radical a lot, or I was a white supremacist, but I'm not. My granddad was in the Luftwaffe and war too bad. It doesn't make me a Nazi. Exactly, Abe. Exactly. It was the words Colin Powell used that destabilized a somewhat stable region, then General Clark explained the larger picture. I'm not sure what you're talking about. You're talking about the 2003 campaign against Iraq. It wasn't a stable region. Thank you for the super chat there, MJ. 35 Rand. Appreciate it. Well, that was kind of a weak ring. Colonel, would it be a good idea for the opposition parties to distance themselves from the ANC? Yeah. I said that months ago. I said that when the DA had all the cards, walked in negotiation to form a government, a coalition, and walked out like they'd just been bum screwed, they came out with no ministries of any significance. And their party leader became the Minister of Agriculture instead of being the party leader. Can't be both. Doesn't work. It works for Peter Groenewald because his party's small and his constituency's small. He could do it, but now he's no longer the party leader. He's just a Minister of Correctional Services. But, I mean, No, I said that a long time ago. I said that the DA should walk out of this government. And people are freaking out. Oh, but then the MK will come in. The MK is never coming in. Not with the ANC. Not unless they get the votes on their own. And the EFF, they're not going to be there with the ANC either, most likely. The ANC will rule as a plurality government. Propose legislation, no one will vote for it. So they won't get anywhere. And they probably won't even be able to get their, I'll bet you that if there's a vote of no confidence and the GNU falls apart, no one will vote for whoever the candidate is from the ANC to be president. No one will vote for them. So it'll be a minor party, somebody like a Gate McKenzie or something like that, who will be voted in just as a compromise. It'll be a weak president, but it'll be a president voted in by minority parties to get a plurality. Yep. Yeah, I don't see Gate McKenzie as your last hope, but I'm just saying that would be the compromise candidate. You know, that's who they go for. Cornel Mulder. Yes, he is, Arctic. I know that. I've already asked him for an interview, and he's yet to respond. I sent him a message 5 days ago. He's a pretty busy guy. I haven't heard from him, but I'm sure I will. All righty. Heinrich, you're welcome. Beer is an alcohol like children isn't a meat. It's a vegetable. Braun just gave 5 memberships to Vilma Rasmus. Hey, Vilma, cool. Olafia, congratulations, Vilma. Flamefly gifted membership. Okay. Marissa, peace. People talk English. It's rude to talk Afrikaans, and Chris is trying to talk to us. No, it's okay, Marissa. They can do it. Just understand that when I'm trying to do multiple things here, it's hard for me to focus and always get the clear meaning of Afrikaans. But people can say Afrikaans if they want. You notice I'll frequently comment on Afrikaans thing, and I usually get the meaning of it, but sometimes it's just a lot to deal with. Vilma, that's for you. You've been very dedicated. There are many great leaders like Mulder, but I don't see them ever getting elected. True. Reddick is here. I didn't see Reddick. Mr. Naval and the ANC is ANC light. I think that they probably are. You should see how SARS is stealing money now through penalties and interest. They'll never... Yeah, I'm not surprised. Most white people run when they see a mamba. I didn't run. I ran over it unintentionally in Zimbabwe. He darted across in front of my bucky and I couldn't avoid it. You can't see Arctic's post? I can see Arctic's post. I don't know. It's something with YouTube. He's not blocked. There he is right there. He said Cornel Mulder's new leader. I don't know. Hey, Garrett, how you doing, man? There's no hope as we as whites do not fit in the world. We want our money, land, and everything else. I know how to fix all that. We have Springboks play every weekend, B team in the summer against the Minnows, and the A team in the winter. You caught a couple mambas. Okay, well, there you go. Llewellyn snake came in my window behind my head 2 days ago. Oh my goodness, that's crazy. That's crazy. You must not have an aircon. Man, I tell you what, I crank the aircon up till they freeze. They're not going to come in there. Snakes are they can't handle the cold, man. They just go dormant. So I keep up the aircon. They'll never come in. All right, how are we doing here? 2,000 people tuned in tonight. The nighttime show, it's the early morning thing is losing a little of its steam. That's okay. But let me see. Well, we had 3,300 last night. We had 4,900 the night before, but I went for an extra hour, so 4,900. And then we had 3,400 the night before that, 2 hours, 46, 49. So we're up and down between 3,500 and 5,000 in these night ones, which is pretty good. Pretty good. My news reports are getting 5,000 to 7,000 or so on the live streams. That's pretty good too. Jay says, do you ever sleep? Occasionally, but the sleep is for dummies. No, I'm just kidding. No, we all need sleep. Our body needs to rest and recover. We're not robots. I'm not Sheldon Cooper. Yeah, so this one is doing all right. It's picking up about 1,300 per hour. The one I did on Cyril Ramaphosa yesterday. I kind of like that image. I took a house on fire, and I said that for Ramaphosa. So anyway, Solidarity Movement, which I debuted before we started this, is at 5,000 views, so not great. I thought more people would have wanted to see those interviews, but apparently not. The HIV that I did, that one has got 4,000 views, so it's not doing great. But I'm going to make another one here before I go to bed, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm a little surprised the interviews with Kali Creel and the one I've just now did with Jaco Kleinhans are not doing better. The Jaco Kleinhans is very good. He's a very good person to interview. He gets the way to interview and how to talk to people, so that was pretty impressive. Yep, so let me just take a look here real quick. I want to see subscribers. So I started yesterday at 50,392, and it's on Pacific time, so it's still not midnight in California. So midnight in California, which would be 3 a.m. here, so I got an hour and 20 minutes still to collect subscribers. But 50,392, now it's at 51,210, so that's about 180 to go to get to 1,000 for one day. Better than the last several days where it's been a few hundred, but yeah, but I did put out some good content. Dad worked in the mines. How do we request to join your WhatsApp? Well, Doretta, they're full. So you can request, but it might take a long time to get in. They limit how many people. My recommendation, Doretta, would be you join the Telegram group. Telegram group can take 220,000 people in a group. WhatsApp limits it to 1,500 or less, depending. So those groups are full. One has 96 waiting on the wait list. Another has 18 on the wait list. So my recommendation is go to Telegram. So I'm going to go give you the Telegram link if you want to join that. And it's only supposed to be verified information, but Hendo keeps putting my videos in there. I didn't want that, but I'm not going to beat him up for it. I don't want my videos published in there unless they're directly tied to emissions or refugee program or it's an analysis. So I don't want just my regular videos put in there because I'm not trying to promote my content. The groups are just to give you information. Arc Precision, you just described things very well. Yep. Yep. Snakes on the farm. Snakes on a plane. Yep. So I hope that helps. Doretta, there's the link on the Telegram. You can click on that. If you don't have Telegram installed on your mobile device, it'll probably let you do it that way. But yeah, we can put 220,000 people in that group, so we'll see how it grows. But let me see how big that group is on Telegram. Okay, U.S. refugees. We got 987 people in there. Oh, God bless it. Randy, you put this everywhere, man. Gee, many crickets. You keep deleting stuff out of here. Okay, all right. So like he put the end is nigh there. I don't really want that in the group. The group is not for me to promote. I mean, if you guys don't mind it, it's fine, but you can't post things in there. So I just want it to be stuff that's related directly to the events. That's what the groups are created for, just to overcome the nonsense. Like early in the program, somebody said, someone was charging them to make documents ready. No one should be charging to make documents ready. The refugee thing is free. Get those snakes off this plane. Exactly, Roxy. I'm on Willem Petzer's group with WhatsApp too. Okay, Abe. Well, that's cool. What's his group all about? Correct, Tractor. I was in a buggy and I was driving down the road towards Victoria Falls when it slithered across the road in front of me, ran over it. Actually, was I driving? I'm trying to remember if I was driving or if it was Paul that was driving. I think Paul was driving. That was in 2000. I believe that many South Africans have issues with error codes and ID numbers, so we can't apply for passports. I don't know the answer on that. I do know that Home Affairs is a mess, and Schreiber's trying to fix it, but he's too busy firing water cannons over FlySAF air flights coming from China to celebrate the Chinese communists coming and spending $5 per person per day, whereas the Americans come and spend $2,000 per day, and the Europeans spend $1,000 per day. But we're not going to welcome them with water cannons for no water. Did an interesting interview with Peter from the AFD. Yeah, I don't know how he got that guy. I'd love to have it. I have no contact with the Alternative for Deutschland. Yep. Maybe I should reach out to them and talk to them. All right, Cynthia, I need to wrap up too. So, yeah, see, Llewellyn, I've got groups for my content. These refugee groups are not for the content. I'm not spanking Hendo, but he keeps putting the stuff in there. Only my moderators and I can put stuff in there. I just did it so they could put something there in case I was rushed and couldn't do it. Yeah, but those groups are just for refugee stuff specifically or analysis of that. Confirmed information from the government, from the embassy, for State Department or Homeland Security, or my analysis. It's not supposed to be for anything else. So, yeah, the water cannon comment. Yeah, so I have plenty of groups that have content in them. So, yeah, so you can... Anyway, William's group is basic information videos are also rather good, but you're the man. No, I nothing. I'm not criticizing or promoting Villa. I'm just saying that I have groups like that too, and you can join them, and those always available. So those aren't full. I actually had 1,500 people in one of the WhatsApp groups one time, and it filled up, but then it whittled down to about 580 at one point. People just lost interest. But anyway, all right, guys, that's going to do it for this one. I'm going to hit the like button. 375 likes out of 2,122 people tuned in. Well, but the average view duration is 18 minutes and 32 seconds. That's a long time. Thank you all so much for that. And we'll catch you later today, because now it's Friday for me as well, TGIF. But I'm going to work on a video right now and see how it comes out. And if I'm satisfied with it, then I'll edit it and load it up for tonight. All right, y'all take care. And go watch my videos, please. How many videos did I put out in the last 24 hours? Let me take a look and see. I put out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I put out 5 videos on the 27th. Can you believe that? 5 prepared videos. Now, one of them's only like a minute. No. One's 5 minutes, one's 8 minutes, one's 9 minutes, one's 18 minutes, and one's 5 minutes. That's all in one day. All in one day. Good God. And the day before I did 3, 4. The day before I did 1, and then 1, 2, 3. Wow. Man, I'm really putting out a lot of content. I didn't realize it was that much. All right. Yeah, the WhatsApp groups become too busy if it's not admins only. So, all right. No, I'm not going to sleep. I'm going to make another video. All right, guys. Have a good night, Cheers. Thanks for being here, and appreciate it.